You get a beautiful look at the beach and the weather conditions, 82 degrees. The humidity says 69, but it feels a little wetter than that, and wind will not be a problem tonight at just 7 miles an hour. The kickoff of tonight's game is sponsored by Wild West Electronics, your home theater dealer for over 25 years. Well, the Wolfpack will kick off. Twin safeties for Hawaii as we're about to get this one underway in WAC conference play. Maybe the most crucial game of the year for these two teams. Fresno, will tell you, lost today. They went to Logan, Utah and played Utah State, and the Aggies beat them 13-12. Brett Jekyll will kick off long and deep in the end zone. It'll not be brought out. Ross Dickerson will down it, and Hawaii will start 1st and 10 at their 20-yard line. There's a weapon that Nevada's really developed this year that's so important. June Jones talking to his offense on the side. The key man, as Chris talked about just a little bit, the trigger man. There he is, Colt Brennan, leading his team on the field. Look at his numbers. He loves to put the ball in the air. He's already thrown for 1,443 yards, 14 TDs, and 5 interceptions. So they've got a scatter offense. See if Nevada defense is up to what the Warriors put in their face tonight. Out of the shotgun. Brennan, as expected, will look to throw on 1st down. Does so. Complete. Shy of the 30. Now getting away from the tackle to 25 and right back to the 29-yard line. Ezra Butler will make the stop. The catch made by Ian Sample. A big line to help these skilled receivers. Devon Best, one of the best in the nation, just a sophomore from Oakland, California. They're the big guys up front. All together, 3 of them are back from last year, and they're a very experienced offensive line. 2nd and less than a yard. The ball just shy of the 30. Maiwa is the wingback on the right side. He's a big kid. We'll talk about him later. 296 pounds. Brennan starts to throw, pulls it back, dumps it off to Devon Best, who stumbles at the 35 over the 40 and out of bounds. There's the young man we were talking about, Devon Best, the skilled receiver from Oakland. Nevada defense, when you look at them, the linebacking core, the key to their defense, Josh Maga, the leading tackler on this team. They're the 3 down linemen. J.J. Milan leads the conference and is 12th in the nation in sacks. Joe Garcia, Chris talked about him. He is the key to the secondary. So on the pass to Best, Hawaii will have a 1st down across their 41-yard line. Brennan again looking to go up top. Underneath. A little possession catch, and Nevada's defense that time closing it off pretty well. Gain of about 5.
And a nice positive start for Hawaii in this game. You know, they're going to use their passing game, and they like to throw the ball downfield. They're going to stretch the safeties out, but they use a lot of their passing game as their run game, throwing those short little passes underneath.
They'll mark it at the 48-yard line. It'll bring up a 2nd and 4. Hawaii throwing for 410 yards on average per game. And believe it or not, Colt Brennan is not the #1 quarterback in the league. He's #2 to the young man at New Mexico State. Brennan again looking to go left side, throws deep, got a man. That is Best, and Best will go out of bounds near the Wolfpack 25, inside the 25 to the 22.5-yard line. We get a good look at Devon Best, who found a seam deep on the left side.
And you'll see Justin Jackson, strong safety on this, just not making it out to the corner out there. Devon Best stretching it, breaks it out there, and you'll see Justin Jackson come in here, number 29, giving up the big play to Hawaii.
Best came into this ball game with 31 catches. He's already got 2 on this opening drive. The Warriors have a 1st and 10 at the Pack 22-yard line. Chris Ault said earlier, you've got to change every defensive set. There's their shovel pass inside. The big guy, Regan Maiwa. Believe it or not, last year, he was a defensive lineman. He was a defensive tackle, playing at 351 pounds. He's trimmed down, believe it or not, to 296.
And this is something that they've got 2 big backs. You see here in Iloa, and you know, just That's what they want to have happen in there. Just shove that pass in there and let them use their size and drag some guys downfield.
Kevin Porter for Nevada comes up to make the hit. Gain of just 3. It'll be a 2nd and 7. 3 receivers, top of your screen. Brennan chased out of the pocket. He's been grabbed. He's going to be dragged. Now, there's a thing that you don't do very often. You do not sack Colt Brennan very often. Nevada put some pressure defensively, and they get in and get him.
And that's something that they're going to have to continue. The Nevada Wolfpack defense is shake it up a little bit, bring some pressure, play some zone. That time they were very successful of keeping Colt Brennan in the pocket and getting a sack.
He'll lose 4. It'll bring up a 3rd down, and now 3rd and 11. Drive started at the Warrior 20-yard line. Brennan tucking in that towel, and it's humid out here, so his hands are going to be a little wet. Wipes them off. Nevada drops back into a 2-deep zone. Again, Brennan scrambles around the pocket, throws underneath. The catch made, but far short of the 1st down. And Hawaii will have a decision to make. As they bring up a 4th down, it'll be short, but they've got a good field goal kicker in Dan Kelly. He's kicked 2 so far this year. His long is 42.
And that first drive that we just saw here with Hawaii's offense and Nevada, again, we talked about in the open, is that, you know what, just don't give up the big play. Play that bend, but don't break type of defense and forcing Hawaii into a field goal.
And Kelly will try a 35-yard attempt, spot at the 25, add 10 to the end zone. It's down the middle, and on top, the Warriors break on their opening drive. They get a 35-yard field goal. They lead the Wolfpack 3-0. The Wolfpack yet to get the ball. We'll take a timeout. We'll return on the Wolfpack Sports Network. Well, Hawaii gets the first 3 of the ball game. It could be a high-scoring game tonight. Started at 20. They end up with a 35-yard field goal. But as you said, bend don't break, and giving up 3 is a lot better than giving up 7.
And that's a decent start for the Nevada Wolfpack defense, and something where Nevada's offense, and where they've strung 3 consecutive games of wins here. And you see here the 8 plays, 63 yards, and taking up 4 minutes and 22 seconds off the clock.
The kick coming to Sanders at the 1-yard line. Dwayne Sanders at the 10, trying to get outside. Pretty good kick coverage. They stop him short of the 20-yard line. And Hawaii, this week in the paper, they were talking about their outstanding kick coverage. Everybody staying in the lane and getting a piece of the ball carrier.
And they're just trying to get about a 20-yard return there, and Hawaii's doing a great job of containing them.
Number 20, Mike Malala, makes the stop. And here comes Jeff Rowe in the Nevada offense. Rowe, prolific passer himself, 872 yards this year. He has been the trigger man in this pistol offense, which is a version, some people call it, of the former single wing. He'll send 3 wide receivers left. Brandon Frager, the freshman from Pittsburgh, California, went to the Bay Area, School of the Bay Area, is starting at running back. The throw complete. out of the 25 to the 30-yard line. Should be very close to the first down. Get a look at the skill people for the University of Nevada. The tight end Pudewell is one of the best in the country. Caleb Spencer right here from the Islands from King Kamehameha High School. There's the offensive front. They call them the Union, and they've been solid so far this year. So Nevada will get the first down on the mark right at the 30-yard line. Reminiscent of the drive that Hawaii just put together, 63 yards. In that drive, Colt Brennan completed 6 of 6 passes. This time, Rowe sends 3 receivers right of the formation, top of your screen. On the ground, Fragger grabbed in the backfield. He'll be hammered down. What a play. Sniping in, Ikaika Alama Francis gets across the line, gets Fragger, and puts him down right at the original line. There you see the down 3. Francis, the guy at the bottom of the screen, making that stop as he just got in the backfield, sought out the ball carrier. Their linebackers, Solomon Elamimian, only a sophomore, but he's the heart and soul of their defense. And then their corners could be suspect, but Leonard Peters is the best of the secondary. 2nd and 10. Rowe with a play fake. Beyond the containment, he'll carry and go out of bounds very close to the first down, maybe a yard and a half short.
And if you're Hawaii's defense here, this is what Jeff Rowe does well, is throw the ball on the run very well, get outside that pocket to buy enough time to make some good things happen. And if you're Hawaii's defense, you want to contain him in that pocket.
He's a big, long, lanky guy, but when he stretches him out, he covers a lot of territory. And that time, you could see him beat the defense to the corner, and he'll get within 2 yards of a first down. They need to get to the 40. It'll be 3rd and 2. Nevada with a power set with a double wing and only 1 wide receiver. Fragger will get the call, coming left. Turns a corner. He's got the first down and more. Near midfield, lowers his head, and will get to the 45-yard line of the Warriors. Stop made by Adam Leonard, number 44.
Brandon Fragger, this is something that, they really didn't expect him to play a whole lot this season, and he's really stepped up very, very well in place of Robert Hubbard. And just a little stretch play that Fragger gets the corner, and this is what they like about him, his speed, his ability to make people miss.
Yeah, went to Pleasant Hill High School, I mentioned earlier, from Pittsburgh. He had a career night against UNLV last Saturday in Las Vegas with 146 yards, and taking up where he left off, 2 carries for 16 in this early portion of the ball game. Rowe, that broken play in the backfield. Jeff's got to try to make something out of a couple straight arms. Get out of bounds at about the 45-yard line, which should give him a yard gain. But you could tell Fragger went one way and Rowe turned, and there was nobody there. He had to go and make the best of it.
Well, there's there really wasn't much there. See Jeff taking the snap, missing the guy, and trying to make something else positive. And this is something you don't want to do on a first down, is have a broken play and start out with a 2nd and 10 on the very next play.
We mentioned the lankiness of Rowe, but he's also 225, so those straight arms put a couple guys back on the seat of their pants. They didn't get to him. 2nd and almost 10, 9.5 to go for a first down. Rowe with a straight drop back. Right side, throws in a curl, catch made, and down near the 30-yard line, more than enough for the first down. The grab by Jack Darlington, that'll be his 2nd of the night. I'll make that Mike McCoy, number 89. McCoy slicing in from the right side with the solid grab.
And Mike does a nice job here. Colfax, California. You see him at the top of your screen just running as Caleb Spencer comes on motion here. Just a nice little curl route, breaks inside, and Jeff delivers a nice throw.
Pack with a 1st and 10 at the Warrior 31. Fragger trying to go left. Boy, flowing in the linebacker position. There he is. Adam Leonard. We talked about Solomon Elamimian being the heart and soul of that defense. Both he and Leonard just rushed to the line of scrimmage, and he filled the hole and filled the gap pretty well.
You see Adam Leonard here out of Seattle, Washington, just filling the gap. He leads the team in tackles with 36. And that's what you want your middle linebacker to come up there and smack you right in the mouth.
Yeah, you hit them and they come down. You don't miss tackles, and Hawaii's good at that. Nevada loses 2. It'll be a 2nd and 12. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Rowe with a little 5-step drop, throws on a comeback. Good fingertip catch. That's Darlington. who makes the grab inside the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll still be short of the first down.
You see Darlington there working the backside, or the boundary side that we say, and they're going to get a lot of one-on-one coverage on that boundary side. And Chris Alton just tells the receivers, you've got to win. You've got to win and make it happen, because it's you and him. Game of matchups.
Yeah, even one-on-one, and you have got to come out on top. So third down for the Pack. 3rd and 3 from Hawaii's 24-yard line. Rowe looks to go up top. Throws complete at the 20. The grab made just in front of the defense, and Jack Darlington again with a grab. He's become a favorite target, and Caleb Spencer, the kid who came from Hawaii as a quarterback to Saddleback Junior College, then transferred and played wide receiver, and is playing wide receiver for Nevada, has yet to get his hands on the ball, and he had to come up with 100 tickets for his family over here to come to the ball game, so you want to show something.
Yeah, and the Jet just makes a nice throw. He's got a guy right in his face, taking it right in the mouth, but he's able to step in the pocket and keep his composure.
Spencer in motion left side. The play fake. Rowe trying to get beyond the containment. Looks in the end zone. He's got Darlington. Touchdown. So Nevada comes down the field, strikes back. They go 82 yards and go on top 6-3, with a chance now to make it 7 with the extra point.
And a nice, very, very nice throw on the run by Jeff Rowe. Faking to his left and doing a great job of avoiding the tackler there, and you see Darlington just run into the opposite seam. Nice touchdown, a great drive for Nevada Wolfpack to come out on the first drive and score a touchdown.
How about Darlington? Gets 45 of that 82 yards through the air and scores the touch, and Brett Jekyll will try to add the extra. It is on the way, and it is good. And now Nevada, in one possession, has reclaimed the lead, 7-3. We'll take this time out here on the Wolfpack Sports Network. Well, we get a good look over the shoulder of Jeff Rowe, who just engineered that 82-yard drive, and Nevada leading at 7-3.
And what a solid little drive there by Jeff Rowe, leading this pistol offense and finding Jack Darlington, guy out of Tucson, Arizona, that they expected a lot of last year and had a few injuries. But, you know, you got June Jones there that's got just a powerful offense, explosive offense, and I don't think he was too happy picking up 3 points on that last drive.
Jekyll again will kick off. Prevented the return last time. This one heading for Dickerson. He'll come forward, take it at the 6-yard line, and make it all the way out to the 25, as Hawaii doesn't do anything special on the return teams, but they had that wedge and they followed. You get a look at the scoring drive. As we mentioned, 82 yards in 10 plays. Took just over 4 minutes. And Chris, we talked in the pregame show about a lot of offense. We've had it 2 drives. We've got 10 points on the board.
And Hawaii, I mean, they average 43 points a game, so you know you're going to get it from them, and Nevada just needs to match them a little bit more, or punch for punch tonight.
Colt Brennan comes on. The oddity in those opening drives, Brennan was 6 for 6. Jeff Rowe came right back, was 5 for 5. Brennan threw for 67 yards. Rowe threw for 59. Again, Brennan looking to throw. Gets rid of it in time, throwing in midfield, almost intercepted. Overthrew his intended receiver, and Devon Walker, who started at corner tonight, number 20 for Paul Pratt, number 35, looked like he may have shied away from the ball a little bit, or it was too tall for him, one of the two.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm not sure if he got the ball caught up in the lights or whatnot, but he had an opportunity for a big play there, and let it go through his hands. But like you said, he was very, very tentative going after that ball. Yeah, you talk about a momentum swing. You just score 7 and come back and pick the guy, but that wasn't the case. And we mentioned the passing yards, the two quarterbacks. Again, perfect on the night. 11 passes thrown until that one. The 12th one thrown goes incomplete. But Brennan now 6 for 7. And a timeout taken by Hawaii as they want to talk things over. Nevada leading at 7-3. So we will take a timeout on the Wolfpack Sports Network. We're back at Aloha Stadium. You get a look at June Jones, who was the guy who really started this run and shoot offense was his coach now, Mouse Davis. And that started at Portland State. They took it on to the Pro Football NFL. They played it, the run and shoot in Houston. They played it in Atlanta. And here in Hawaii, he has made it very, very successful. 2nd and 10. Brennan looks to throw again. Little swing pass right side. Complete to Iloa. Nate Iloa, who is a power back from Akron, Ohio. They list him at 190 in the program, Chris, but he's playing about 248. Yeah, he's up there about the 2.5 bills, and that's what they want to do: get them the ball on the outside and use their size and try to run some guys open.
I think the Wolfpack is content to give them 4 or 5 yards. They got 4 that time. Brings up a 3rd now and long, 3rd and 6. 3 down linemen. Nevada will drop 8. No pressure from the corners. Brennan steps up, can't find a receiver. He wants to carry it. He's got enough for the 1st down as he dives forward. The ball came loose, but it come loose after or before. They blow it dead, and Nevada says they have the ball, but do they? But Brennan trying to stretch it out and dive on the surface, and the ball came out after he hit the surface. The surface cannot cause a fumble.
And the one thing that Colt Brennan does a very, very good job, especially on this 3-man rush, as you see here, he's just stretching, and you'll see the ball's coming out a little bit early.
Yeah, the ball is coming out. See if they replay that. They take a look at every play and decide whether they need replay or not, but that ball was on its way out when he came down.
But getting back to Colt Brennan, I mean, he does a very good job of just sitting in that pocket, sit. A lot of guys get a little happy feet and want to take off early. He stays in there a little bit longer and looks to get the ball downfield.
Again looking, he dumps one left side. Again, Ilawa will not get back to the line of scrimmage, so they'll lose yardage on the pass completion. Nevada's defense really playing inspired right now.
Well, and something like that where you got Iloa on the outside, one way to, you know, combat a guy that's 250 pounds running that ball is the gang tackle. And that's what Nevada did there. Swarmed the ball and brought him down, puts him in a nice 2nd and 10.
Never really let him get his shoulder squared so he could turn and go upfield. So going laterally, he will lose 2. It'll be 2nd and 12. Hawaii at their own 38-yard line. They trail 7-3. Their second possession tonight. Again, Brennan looks left. Got a man open this time. Good catch. Devon Bess will haul it in just before he steps out of bounds across midfield.
And you'll see Joe Garcia. He just jumped that flat route, opened that corner up pretty quick, and you know that's just pitch and catch for Colt Brennan. And they really like Devon Bess. I mean, he's the you know, WAC freshman player of the year coming back, so he's going to be he'll get his plays tonight.
At the 48-yard line, it is 1st and 10. Rivers is the motion man who goes through the backfield, sets up on the left side. Brennan looks. Again, he likes to go left. The completion made at the 45. Looking for running room, coming laterally. Bess can't get loose, but he was looking for just the slightest seam to go through.
And Ezra Butler making a nice tackle, and that's what's going to happen because, I mean, Hawaii's going to throw the ball quite a bit tonight, and these receivers for Hawaii, they're very, very elusive.
Yeah, you can let him catch a 4 or 5-yard line. You don't want him to make it 20.
And you'll see Devon Bess out here just sitting out in the flat route, making a bunch of guys miss. But when you got the tackle and the opportunity to make it, Ezra Butler comes up with a big one right there.
Butler coming in with 27 tackles. Brennan drops it underneath once again. And shedding a tackle and getting a lot more than they wanted. There's the situation we talked about. A 4 or 5-yard catch. You got to tackle him. Don't let him go downfield for another 20. And the grab made by Ross Dickerson, the wise senior.
And Colt Brennan does a great job. He's looking, and he comes back to his 3rd option there. And Dickerson, again, like you said, just makes the guy miss. And it's really what the run and shoot is really built off. Get the ball into their hands, and it's the yards after the catch that they really want.
That's why they really, it features diminutive receivers who are quick. It's on their quickness, not so much their size. Another 1st down at the 26-yard line. Brennan once more. Again, he dumps it over the middle. This time the sure tackle made after a very small gain. Ross Dickerson, he had 51 catches last year. Coming back, they expect him to have an even better year. He came into this ball game with only 14, but he's starting to heat up tonight.
You see Juden Jones, I mean, he's really a guy that you want to learn if you're playing quarterback, a guy that you want to learn under. He's got the experience, he's got the NFL experience, and I think that's what really brought Colt Brennan here to Hawaii, is his ties to the NFL.
Yeah, because Jones has been candid about the fact that next year people are going to be looking at him very seriously. 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard catch. The draw. Ilawa veering off right will be close to the 1st down. All depending on the spot. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. It'll be at the 17-yard line. They need to get to the 16, so it brings up a 3rd and 1.
And a very, very rare run that you'll see from University of Hawaii. Some just to change it up and keep that pass rush off you a little bit.
The Packers done a pretty good job putting some pressure on Brennan. They have sacked him once tonight. Forced him to run a couple times. Now a 3rd and less than a yard. Brennan goes one-on-one with the receiver, throws behind him, and touchdown. That time they threw it behind the receiver, Ian Sample. A perfectly thrown ball by Brennan. You didn't want to throw it high in the air. He threw it behind him. Watch Sample come back and get it.
Yeah, just a nice little fade route that Colt Brennan throws out here to Sample. And it's a classic throw behind where it's tough to defend if you're that defensive back out there. And Joe Garcia gets burned for the touchdown.
Yeah, the best defensive back Nevada has, Joey Garcia. trying to match up in the end zone going deep, and Brennan really wisely throwing the ball short, letting his receiver get the advantage. And Hawaii on their second drive has come back out on top.
The play is being reviewed.
So they're reviewing, I guess, to see if Sample actually stepped in the end zone or stepped out of bounds. I can't think of any other reason. The catch was clean.
The catch was clean. I think what they're saying is that he might have gone out of bounds, but he put that ball and crossed the goal line and right there at the pylon and broke the plane of the end zone. And I think that's what they're going to be looking at and reviewing.
Referee going over to put the headsets on, look at the angles, and we'll get a look at them too. There's the first one from up top.
And you'll see the throw behind here, and he stretches the ball out to try to break the plane of the end zone. I think from there, that's a pretty good angle. You'll see here, his foot gets down. And that's a tough angle right there. We saw the first one looked a little bit cleaner. And I think he broke the plane. I think the play is going to stand, or there's not enough evidence to overturn it, I don't think.
Yeah, you need conclusive evidence to overturn it, and it's really close. You're right. Whether he made the catch and just got it across or not, because he actually, his body was short of the goal line, but did the stretch of the right arm, put the ball in the end zone. That's what they're going to have to decipher. So we said we might have a lot of scoring. We've had 3 possessions and 3 scores if this holds up.
And it's going to be quite a bit. You saw right there, Hawaii's taking a shot in the end zone. It was 3rd and short. Most offenses are going to run the ball and get that first down. Not June Jones. He's going to take a shot and figuring he can come back and get a couple inches.
Another good look from the end zone up top. Did he get in? Oh, boy. Well, we're about to find out from Frank White.
After review, play stands as called. Touchdown.
And I don't think we got a great look to see if he did it, but again, it wasn't very conclusive to overturn it.
Ian Sample, interesting young man. His father, Billy Sample, played professional baseball for quite a few years, and here's his son, a star football player. Extra point is up. It is good. It is a 10-7 game with 1:10 remaining in the first quarter. Hawaii has gone out on top. We'll see what Nevada does when they get the ball back.
And Ian Sample getting his 2nd start of the season. His first one last week, and came out and had a big week against Eastern Illinois. Building on that this week.
Chris, some other scores, especially from the WAC conference today. New Mexico State at Idaho lost to the Vandals 28-20. And here's the surprise. We'll mention it once again. Utah State was winless up in Logan, Utah. Fresno came up. The Bulldogs figuring they'd come in and roll them. They didn't. 13-12. Utah State won that ball game. Boise State, by the way, they're the number 20 team in the country. They beat Louisiana Tech 55-14 on the blue surface up in Boise.
And Louisiana Tech is just coming off a very, very tough schedule. I mean, they're playing Miami. Those are the ones that hurt you. But, you know, looking at Chris Salt here, he knows he's in for a dogfight. He says that he talked about these guys, and again, he's in his 22nd season, Hall of Fame head coach, and, you know, somebody I got a chance to play under. But, you know, he knows he's in for a dogfight, that this University of Hawaii team's a very, very solid team.
And those charts in his hands, Chris, you know he's got 100 plays on there that he can opt to select for this ball game. So a lot of offense still in store for the Wolfpack. The kick coming a couple yards deep, and they're going to bring it out. Sanders looking for a seam. Made a nice cutback, and he'll come up shy of the 30-yard line. So Nevada with a good return. Dwayne Sanders, who is a reserve wide receiver. You get a good look at him. Take a look at the scoring drive. Again, another 10-play drive, taking 5 minutes and 26 seconds.
That's solid, going 82 yards for the score. So, you know, we talked about them, you know, forcing Hawaii into it to, you know, go the 9, 10, 11 play drives. They do it there, and Hawaii's taking advantage and making the score.
These teams mirror images of one another so far. Nevada went on 10 plays. They went 82 yards for a score, and Hawaii comes right back. On the ground. That's Robert Hubbard with his first carry. He'll cross the 30. See where they spot it. It looks like the 33-yard line.
You look at Robert Hubbard out of Emeryville, California, just outside of San Francisco, and you know, he's really the guy that they wanted to go to, Nevada wanted to go to as their running back this year, and he's been hampered by a few injuries.
Interesting, he came up at the breakfast this morning. We're sitting there with the team, and he said, you know, I went to Emeryville High School, but I really lived in West Oakland, so would you make sure people know I came from West Oakland? Trying to go right. He'll turn the corner. Major collision at the 35-yard line, but that should be the spot, as he will get a tough 2 yards. So that's the end of the first quarter. Nevada trailing 10-7 Hawaii after 15 minutes of football on the Wolfpack Sports Network. There's beautiful Hawaii, and tonight's game is brought to you by Northern Nevada Toyota dealers, Carson City Toyota, Fallon Automall Toyota, and Reno Toyota. A smart way to keep moving forward. And by R.C. Willey. One store, so many possibilities. The El Dorado, home of Darren Romeo, the voice of magic, now appearing in the El Dorado showroom. And by Coors New West Distributing. Clean, cool, refreshing. Tell you, anytime you look at a picture like that, it's clean, cool, and refreshing.
Absolutely.
Jeff Rowe, as we get ready to start the second quarter. Wolfpack at their 35-yard line on a 3rd and 4. Hold everything, flags are down. A high snap. Rowe will go and cover it, but wait a minute. Get the signal from Frank White about what the flags are about. And I believe it's going to be against Nevada.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. Number 75, 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Chris, when you look at penalties in this WAC conference this year, Nevada, when you go start at the top and go to the bottom and least penalties, Nevada's been averaging just 32 yards in penalties a ball game, which is second in the conference. Hawaii down at 7 with 64 yards in penalties, twice as many as the Wolfpack. We'll see if that turns out to be a factor.
We got a big 3rd down conversion going from a 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 10, making it a lot more difficult for an offense to convert.
Nevada runs this pistol offense with Jeff Rowe, 3.5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Pressure from the outside. Rowe's got to scramble. On the run, he throws incomplete. Marco Mitchell is the intended receiver. The Wolfpack sideline yelling that there was contact made before the ball got to Mitchell. Our first quarter stats, you look at that with 17 points on the board. Nevada with a slight edge in rushing, but look at the passing. You expect that. Hawaii, 126 yards to 59. They lead in total yardage, but it's only a 3-point game.
And really, it's been all offense, and that's what we expected to see tonight. These two teams that like to throw the ball.
Nevada will punt for the first time. First team to punt. May have been partially blocked. Kick will bounce at the 45, roll across midfield, continue to roll, and the pack will be bailed out as I think Hawaii will maybe get a look at it, see if that ball was partially blocked or not. As Zach Whited, you get a look at him coming off the sideline, and I think they're telling him you've got to get it off sooner, get it quicker.
Like 30.
Now here you see the punt just before we went away. Zach Whitehead is standing back. The pressure coming from the right side of the screen, and the ball was tipped.
And you see back here, Zach Whitehead just got to get the ball off a little bit quicker, and just a straight bull rush. And he gets a tip.
Now for Nevada, they'll end up smelling a little bit like a rose, and C.J. Allen Jones, who's a starting linebacker, got his hand on it, but it's a 33-yard punt, and Hawaii will take over at their own 37-yard line. Colt Brennan has time, got a man wide open at the 25. Nobody near him as the Wolfpack gives chase, but on one play they go deep and score. Devon Walker, who was covering Ian Sample, wasn't even close to him.
And that's something that Hawaii likes to do, is stretch those seams and put some pressure on those safeties.
63 yards on the pass and run.
And there's just a miscommunication, a breakdown on that defensive secondary to have somebody open, that wide open. Sample taking it in for a touchdown.
The extra point is up and good. So Hawaii stretches their lead to 17-7. Well, you know, kids in the street draw up plays, and you look right now at head coach June Jones with his quarterback Colt Brennan, and they're using the graphics. You can see that as they pull away, that June Jones showing Brennan where he needs to read the defense and where he needs to throw the ball.
And he's a fantastic teacher, and he doesn't quit, never quits coaching. That's something that quarterbacks, you know, you need even when you're having success, and as much as when you're not having success. And Colt Brennan having a nice one-play scoring drive.
We'll get a look at that after this kick. We'll take a look at the 63-yard bolt of lightning that puts Hawaii on top 17-7. Sanders, a yard deep. He wants to bring it out. Boy, a little shaking and baking will get him near the 20-yard line. He'll cross to the 21. So let's take a look at the touchdown once again.
And we were talking about, you know, what happened back at Arizona State for this Nevada defense, the communication breakdown there. Same thing here in Hawaii. Ian Sample just wide open. It's just pitch and catch at that point.
Yeah, and Sample so wide. I don't think he was Walker's man. Walker was just trying to come across field and hopefully make a play, and not going to catch him from behind. There it is, one play. We said 63 yards. Didn't take very long for Hawaii to get on the board once again. They have scored 14 straight after trailing 7-3. Nevada on the ground. Short gain as now the defense starting to swarm. Elimimian, number 41, coming across along with C.J. Allen Jones. Elimimian, the last guy to get up. He's just a sophomore. He's going to get a lot better. Be a gain of 2 to the 23-yard line, bringing up a 2nd and 8. Wolfpack with 3 wide receivers. Chris Alt patrolling the sidelines as he will walk the entire ball game. Rowe in the seam, got a man at the 35 and down at the, or met at the 30 at the 32-yard line, and that'll be Caleb Spencer with his first catch in 2 weeks. He was held catchless at UNLV, but he gets that one in front of the home crowd. I'm surprised we didn't hear a spattering of applause.
And Jeff Rowe does a nice job just sitting in the pocket waiting for Caleb Spencer to clear the zone. And like you said, he gets his first catch of the night.
Nevada at their own 33-yard line, trailing in this one, trying to get back in with their 3 receiver set. Out of the backfield, Hubbard in space. Great move, ran into his blocker, McCoy, who was downfield across the 40-yard line. He'll be very close to another first down.
And Mike McCoy doing a great job allowing Robert Hubbard to get some extra yards, and that's what Nevada's offense and coaches really like about Hubbard is his guys, the ability to make guys miss.
And you've played with enough great running backs, Chris, that ball carrier thinks the first guy's not going to get me. I'm already by him. Even if he hasn't passed him, his mental approach to that is I'm by the first tackler. It's the second guy that's got to get me, and that's what Robert Hubbard did on that play. Chris Alt and Jeff Rowe. Jeff getting a little bit of refreshment in this warm, muggy night. We started with an 82-degree temperature at game time. Locally, it's 7 o'clock. It is a first down, boy, just by the nose of the football.
And Jeff Rowe just dropping back here, can feel a little bit of pressure, and flips it out here to Robert Hubbard, making one guy miss, and runs right into the back of Mike McCoy. But again, that's a positive 10-yard gain, and Nevada will take that all night.
That's right, because when they're on the field, Hawaii doesn't get a chance to throw the ball and score again, and that's the key to tonight's ball game. Wolfpack being efficient, going down the field and scoring, but keeping Hawaii from making a big play. There's Hubbard again, starts out right, goes back left. Look at him eat up the territory as he's inside the 45-yard line. Hawaii said there was a fumble, and they came up with it, did they? Kenny Patton, number 24, one of their corners, is celebrating as he leaves the field to play. So let's get another look and see where this ball came loose.
And a great big hole for Robert Hubbard to come through here, and he's just trying to deliver a blow, and he gets the blow delivered right to him. He's looking for the ball, and Kenny Patton comes up with it.
Yeah, you can see the sandwich. The ball was just starting to come loose. There it is.
Sorry, we talk about the turnover ratio, and it's something that's not working for Nevada tonight so far.
You know, when they missed that long pass over the middle, the interception, we talked about momentum swinger at the time. It may have been a key, and now Hawaii's got everything going their way. At their own 39, 1st and 10. Brennan quickly gets rid of it. At the 40, complete, and it should be just short of the first down. Ross Dickerson with another grab. He and Hawthorne having a little bit of a conversation.
I think
no, they'll mark it. He said he stretched it out and got enough of the first down.
I think Dickerson won that little battle. And I don't know about the talking, but you know, you want to do your playing on the field, and that's how those defensive backs really get into it. Chirp, 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 chirp away.
Yeah, they do. They like to go at one another. 4th catch of the evening for Dickerson. Mentioned he started slowly coming into this game with 14, but had 51 last year, and he's trying to have a better year this year, and he may well have. At midfield, 1st and 10. Brennan again delivers, and Nevada not letting the ball advance after the catch. It's Ian Sample with yet another grab.
It's really, since we've seen that one sack, like, you know, from Colt Brennan, Nevada really has not come after him, you know, with the blitz, and they've been sitting back. And
yeah, they're dropping into coverage rather than, I think, maybe being more aggressive. As you said earlier in the game, Chris, they were coming after him, and I'm not sure you give Brennan any more extra time, because when you do, he seems to thread the needle. 2nd and 4 after the 6-yard pickup. Here comes the Nevada with the blitz. Brennan flushed, grabbed, and will they bring him down? Oh, he slips out again. Boy, they had him back, way back, and we'll have a late flag coming down. But Brennan being pretty darn elusive to get away.
You know, we're just talking about coming after him, and Colt Brennan, he does just as good of a job as Jeff Rowe does of being able to make guys miss and be elusive. And he showed his escapability there.
And he read the blitz. He saw it coming. It was right in his face. But yet somehow he extricated himself, even after being grabbed, twisted his way around. And let's see what the penalty's about.
On the play, there was a dead ball foul on number 34. That's a 15-yard penalty. Line to gain has been made. It is a 1st down.
So they give him the 1st down, then mark off the penalty. And Reagan Maiwa is the guy with the penalty. When you're 296 pounds, you don't have to hit anybody late.
All right, and you see Colt Brennan being able to recognize that the blitz is coming, and Scott Garrison, linebacker for Nevada Wolfpack, not able to bring him down. And Colt Brennan able to make the 1st down.
Out of our view, but the legs you saw running by were Maiwa with the late hit. So it'll now be 1st and 10 at their 47. Talking about skidding away, Nate Ilawa was grabbed in his own backfield, but not for very long.
And you get a sense of it, Dan, just like as you talked about with this turnover, that momentum shift. I mean, you can feel, you know, the crowd getting back into it a little bit more, and Ilawa, again, just being able to bounce it outside, uses his hand, and is really getting the crowd into this Hawaii offense and into their drive.
Now, Joe Garcia did a great job holding up the blocker till he could get some help and make the stop, and otherwise Ilawa might still be running. After the penalty and everything, they get a 1st down on a big play by Ilawa, and Brennan once more. Underneath, and boy, Garcia had that played. He stepped in front and knocked the ball away, but he had that pretty well timed.
Joe Garcia, that's what you expect out of the 2005 first-team all-WAC cornerback, and he's pretty darn close of getting that left hand around and going through the guy instead of getting around him. So
he's got 3 interceptions already coming into this game number 6 of the year. Just amazing. It's game 6. We're halfway through the season. The Wolfpack's been on the road 4 of the 6 ball games. They come in with a 3-2 mark.
You see the total yards there, Hawaii packing it on at 240 yards. So Nevada's 128.
Yeah, not quite double. There's a slant running a little post pattern, complete inside the 25-yard line. Ian Sample, who broke loose last week, you mentioned that against Eastern Illinois, and he is just running at will in the secondary tonight.
And really, I mean, this Nevada, or excuse me, this Hawaii offense, I mean, at receiver, they've got to be 6-7 people deep just because they're running downfield so much that you've got to be able to step in when somebody's hurt or when somebody's, you know, been running up and down the field all night.
Sample carries pretty good whack. He's 5'10", but he weighs 196, so he's not the easiest guy to bring down. 1st and 10 at the Pac 24. Brennan sprints out left. He's got people chasing him, and he will go out of bounds at the 19-yard line.
And nice coverage there by the Wolfpack defense, forcing Brennan to run out of bounds there.
June Jones, I think he's feeling pretty good right now. I know he feels good about Colt Brennan. You mentioned the pregame show that he said this is probably the best quarterback I've coached. And Chimmy Chang, who was here before, threw for more than 10,000 yards in his career. And Brennan's being compared to him and saying, this guy's going to be better. And he's showing it.
And June Jones talked to Colt Brennan and says, you know what, you come here, we're going to give you a shot to go to the NFL. No other school's going to do that for you.
The completion, and Best can't shake anybody, so he'll just drift out of bounds. You're right, when he recruited him, he had left Colorado under some circumstances that weren't ideal. And Jones said, you walk on, show me that you want to play, and I'll take care of you, and he has. Devon Best will go out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That's just shy of the first down, bringing up a third. We talked about Chris Ault having the selection of plays. Look at June Jones when he was there. He has a folder. He opens it up, and you know if there's 100 plays on there, 97 of them are passes. He'll run it just to try to keep you a little bit honest. Oh, wait a minute. Everybody's running every which way. Jailbreak.
And you talk about June Jones with him calling the plays. It's pretty rare now that the head coach is calling all the offensive plays, and you've got two coaches here tonight, Chris Ault and June Jones, that
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Nevada comes in with their nickel defense, and they've changed things up this week. I don't know how much Matt Hines will play, but the nickel includes J.J. Milan, Jay Dixon, Charles Wilson, and Ezra Butler. Those will be the front four in their nickel. Hawaii with a 3rd and long, 3rd and 6. As you see on the screen, up the top of your screen, they're leading 17-7. Nevada brings people. Brennan throws out left side, complete and out of bounds, just inside the 10-yard line. The catch made by Jason Rivers. And again, there's some hard feelings back in the backfield. Scott Garrison lost his hat, but we'll get back to that.
And this is a heck of a throw. Wide side out, thrown by Colt Brennan. Delivered on 3rd down, and something that for the season, Hawaii's only had a 50% clip converting on 3rd down. Tonight they're 4 or 5.
Yeah, only 50. They lead the league at 50%. That's pretty darn good. You're right. The little pushing and shoving in the backfield between Garrison, one of the offensive linemen, doesn't amount to anything as the officials break that up. But now Hawaii with a 1st and goal from the 9. And they need another timeout to talk about it.
Hawaii, their 2nd charge timeout.
So we will go to timeout here on the Wolfpack Sports Network. We're back in Hawaii after the timeout with the ball at the 9-yard line. They were having a little trouble deciding what they were going to do before, but they've talked it over. Chad Mock, who has yet to catch a ball in the ball game, is going to the top of the screen. And there's Chris Ault during our timeout extensively talking to the officials and really complaining about, Chris, what you were talking about, Scott Garrison, 45, being held on the previous play and nobody doing anything about it.
And getting his helmet ripped off, and there wasn't a referee around to see it.
First and goal from the 9. Brennan looks right, now comes back left in the corner of the end zone. Great catch. Devon Bess will pull it in. Hawaii celebrating here in the second quarter. They are on fire. And Colt Brennan, about as good as you're going to get, completing 20 of 22 passes. Completed his first 6 before he misfired. Now throwing for 242 yards.
A very solid throw by Colt Brennan.
Kelly will try to add the extra. Spot, the kick is on the way, and it is good. We've got a late flag, and the hard feelings aren't over yet.
See there, again, another 10-play drive by Hawaii, going 61 yards, taking up 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And again, they're being very, very efficient in their job.
3 minutes and 16 seconds, that's a long time compared to their previous drive. Remember, one play, 63 yards, 24 seconds, that was it.
After the play, personal foul, 98. 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
That is Mel Purcell, Malila Purcell, who's a defensive lineman, on the special team extra point with a personal foul.
Colt Brennan just working the boundary there, and Devon Bess just running a nice little corner around the corner, and he threads this. Nick Hawthorne was right there, and it just outside his fingertips.
Brennan has a couple throwing motions. He could come over the top, and that one looked like it was almost 3/4 arm as he hung it on a line to Bess. Well, Nevada was on top, believe it or not, 7-3. And then all of a sudden, the explosiveness started, and Hawaii's prolific offense started to move the ball, and they haven't stopped.
And they've really seized the momentum here at home. And you talk about how tough it is to come over here to Hawaii to play. You're over here for an extended period of time that you normally don't do. And, the weather and the distractions that you may think you have. And then you go up against an explosive offense that Hawaii has here. It's not hard to get down early.
Hawaii has scored 23 straight points. Or excuse me, 21 straight points after trailing 7-3. Good strong kick. Sanders will take it at the 15. He won't make it to the 40-yard line. So he'll have about a 23-yard return on that line drive kick. And the Wolfpack will have their best starting position of the evening.
And this is a drive that's very, very crucial in this game for this Wolfpack offense. As you see here, Nevada has only got 5 yards with 1 penalty, and you've seen the last 2 penalties have been personal fouls against Hawaii, bringing their total to 35 yards.
And it's figures coming into the game. Nevada was the second least penalized team in the conference. Hawaii the 7th. Pack trying to establish the run game. That is Brandon Frager, who will stumble his way to the 40-yard line. You're right. You were talking about how important this drive is. Nevada has let themselves go into a hole 24-7. They've got to prove here in the second quarter. They'll get the ball to start the third quarter, but with still a little less than 8 minutes to go, 7:45 with the clock moving, they've got to prove that they can regenerate their offense.
And that first drive that Nevada scored on, I mean, they were very, very efficient. They ran the ball a little bit, but they're very efficient in throwing the ball. Jeff was going 5 for 5 in that drive.
2nd and 8. Rowe looking left, wide receiver screen complete at the 40. That's Caleb Spencer. He will get upfield to the 43, but that's it. They need to go to the 48 for a first down. They're 5 yards short.
And Nevada's going to get a chance to throw the ball. And one of the things that they haven't done, I don't think, too well this year is the yards after the catch. And you see Caleb Spencer there. Big third down conversion for Nevada Wolfpack.
I don't see anybody with a surfboard, but the waves are rising here at Aloha Stadium. The waves circling as Rowe throws on the break. Nice grab at the 45. Jack Darlington again. He's made some fingertip catches, taking him away from the defense. That's the second time tonight he's done that.
And you'll see Jeff Rowe under a lot of pressure right here. Could have got this thing picked off. He threw it way behind Jack Darlington. And Darlington making a great job to come back and pick up that play. But Jeff's going to feel some pressure in his face. He's got to get that, because that easily could have went the other way for 6 points.
Now, Leonard Peters, who was injured last year with a knee injury in game 1, comes over to push him out of bounds. And Rowe wants to go airborne again. Nobody open. He'll tuck it. A short gain, and we've got flags flying everywhere.
And easily a late hit there on Jeff Rowe, falling down and rolling over.
And now he's limping a little bit. If they're going to heat up Travis Moore, Rowe's going to get a little time to shake it off.
Down here, and he's falling.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 94. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Crowd doesn't like it, but I think it's a good call.
Yeah, because Rowe was, you've got to protect the quarterback, and he was certainly on the surface. The play was over. Jeff Rowe, watching him, he's limping back a little bit gimpy, but he'll get the first down. The ball inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
And things are getting definitely a little chippy on both sides of the ball, and it's going to be a dogfight tonight.
Again, the pack with their 3 receiver set. Frager remains the lone back. Steps up to put the block on a little comeback to throw underneath for Spencer, and what a grab he makes inside the 5-yard line. Jeff Rowe taking a page out of the book of Hawaii when they threw underneath for the touchdown. Threw it short to Sample. Rowe did the same thing with his favorite target, Caleb Spencer.
And Caleb Spencer here been thrown to 3 times and 3 catches, and Jeff delivers a great ball. He throws this ball even before Caleb Spencer gets out of his break. And again, he's thrown it to that sideline.
6:01 on the clock. 6:01.
Caleb Spencer laying out, making a great catch for the friends and family here in Hawaii.
C.J. Hawthorne on the coverage for the Warriors. Yeah, Caleb had a string of 27 straight games with a reception broken last week at UNLV. And trying to make up for it tonight. First and goal from the 3. Frager, good hole left side. He will go in. So Nevada does come back, as you said, Chris Vargas. They needed to prove something and get their offense back on track, and they do it right away.
Well, they didn't take too much time off the clock there, but you know, the way they come back and fight against that adversity and put 7 points on the board, boy, that makes your defense feel a little bit better.
Frager with his 3rd touchdown of the year, and you get a ground level look at it.
Just a counter play, and freshman Frager throwing it up there and trying to earn his ability to be called a Nevada back.
The nice thing about it is he took somebody with him into the end zone. They didn't stop him short. Jekyll's extra point is right down the middle. So Nevada's come back. It's a 24-14 game, trailing by 10. Anybody's game right now, and with all the time to play and as much scoring and capability as they have. When you look at numbers, Chris, 242 yards passing for Colt Brennan. Jeff Rowe behind him, but efficiently completing 10 of 11 for 118 yards.
Well, and Jeff Rowe's been very, very efficient this whole year. You know, completing well over 60% of his passes, and you know, he's 10 of 11 tonight. And the one thing he hasn't, he's only eclipsed 200 yards once this season, and that's something I know that you know, he takes a lot of pride in. And you know, he hasn't been a quarterback that's hurt the team. You know, throwing interceptions and things like that.
Well, Chris Ault was upset at the other end of the field on the penalty wasn't called, but he feels a lot better right now with his team driving and scoring. June Jones still working the numbers across the way. But I'm worried a little bit about Jeff Rowe because, you know, you get tagged like he was tagged on that penalty. And right now he's walking around trying to stay loose. But you go in the locker room and come out, and suddenly if you've got a little bit of a pull or an injury, it could tighten. So the kick-out touchdown coming, and Hawaii will bring it out. And a nice stop, Andy McIntosh, who's been a really strong special teams performer for Nevada, number 11. He's a wide receiver by trade, but plays on the special team, and he came down, makes a pretty good hit on Malcolm Lane.
And just as we said it was a crucial possession last time for Nevada's offense, it's just as crucial for Nevada's defense to get a 3 and out on this drive.
Talking earlier, we look at the drive as you see it. 6 plays, 62 yards, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And, you know, Chris, I hope it doesn't end up that way, but it could be the last team with the ball wins.
And that's typically what's really happened in this series. I mean, you know, each home team has been very successful winning there, and it's going to be a shootout all the way through the night.
Hawaii, maybe not the smartest judgment bringing out of the end zone. They'll start at their 18. Throwing underneath, complete at the 25, and then it's going down right there. They knew there was not much to be made. Devon Bess will make the grab. But you know what you'd say, I said the 18-yard line, and field position doesn't mean anything in a June Jones offense. You know, as they come out gunslinging from wherever they are on the field, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they'll be on their 1-yard line, and they'll be throwing that ball. They're not worried about getting out of their end zone. They're going to run their offense no matter where they're at. And see Colt Brennan there. Fantastic numbers.
Yeah, 21 of 23. How about that? 2nd and 3 after the 7-yard grab by Bess. Up the seam, and that's incomplete. Boy, Dickerson had gone downfield, and he actually picked off Justin Jackson, who had a beeline towards the ball. He had an angle on it, but Dickerson ran into him, or Macon Rivers rather, ran into him and kept him off the ball. That ball was probably the poorest thrown ball that Brennan has thrown tonight.
And he hasn't had very many of those tonight, and coming up on a pretty crucial 3rd down conversion for both teams.
Now, Hawaii has not punted. Nevada punted once, partially blocked for 33 yards. But they'd like to stiffen here and get the ball back. On the option, the pitch to the trailer. Iloa, look out. Boy, can he make people miss. Finally goes down across midfield. Nate Iloa just back and forth, a little jitterbugging till he could find an open area, and then with those bow legs, people trying to grab him and hang on, and they couldn't.
And boy, Nate Iloa, again, like you said, they don't run the ball very much, but just running the option to the boundary. I think they're just looking to try to pick up the 1st down. And boy, he doesn't look like he's 250 pounds shaking and baking downfield.
Yeah, Justin Jackson has to come over the top, and usually a guy like that with only 3 carries and 51 yards, you don't like to hit high because you don't bring him down, but Jackson had the momentum to do it. And on the 3rd and 3, they convert. They're at the Wolfpack 47. Brennan with time, going down the seam, got Rivers open and overthrows him. Jason Rivers was staring up in the dark sky looking for the ball over the top of his helmet, and he couldn't find it.
And you know, this Hawaii offense is just like watching the old UNLV running Rebels basketball team. It's like a fast break every play.
Yeah, it's grass basketball with a football is what it really boils down to. Interesting, Jerry Glanville, who is the defensive coordinator. Yeah, the same Jerry Glanville left tickets for Elvis every time he coached in the NFL. Talking about tight end. He said it's not a position on our team. He refers to a tight end as a condition, not a position. Iloa, again, look at him shake tackles. And then he gets a pretty good head of steam, and his opposite, number 4, D'Angelo Wilson, has to climb on board and bring him down. It's one thing to slow down the passing, but you've got to tackle well.
And they got him held here in the pocket, and he just rumbles and bumbles down the field.
Finally got tired of carrying the load of D'Angelo Wilson, who had climbed on his back and is ridden down at Nevada's 12-yard line. Nevada has taken a timeout. Well, the crowd reacting with 3:25 to play. I think the crowd estimate might be a little bit better than we'd heard earlier. They said they probably thought they'd get 25. If that's all that's here, they're very loud, 25,000.
Well, I mean, they got a lot to scream about. This Hawaii offense has produced everything that they thought they would be, and you know, they've been very, very efficient. They've thrown the ball. They've been exciting. They've made guys miss. And Nevada's defense really, other than that first drive holding them to a field goal, hasn't done much tonight.
Aloha Stadium seats 50,000 people, and they might be right. I don't know if half the seats are filled, but on this humid night here in the island of Oahu, just west of Honolulu, the stadium's about a 25-minute drive in normal driving conditions, but when they're coming into this ballpark, it'll take you 45 minutes to get here. As you see, Nevada has 2 timeouts remaining.
And there's still, you know, there's plenty of time on the clock. You can hold, Nevada defense can hold this Hawaii offense to a field goal. There's plenty of time, especially with those timeouts, to get a score right before the end of half. Take a little momentum yourself into the locker room.
Even if it forced the Warriors to kick a field goal, as they did it on the opening drive, it makes it a 27-14 game. As you said, then you can come back, and if you can go the length, good things can still happen. This is a lot of time to play here, and it's been a lot of offensive emotion and explosions, as Colt Brennan has thrown for half his team's offense, where they've been averaging 500 yards a game. He's thrown for 249 here, and this first half isn't over. Chris Ault, look at his win-loss record. Very successful head coach. He's not only in the University of Nevada Hall of Fame, he is in the Collegiate Hall of Fame. He and Frank Hawkins, 2 of the 3 members for the Wolfpack that are in. The third one, Marion Motley. The handoff, not at that time, not going anywhere, as they go with their big power back. Ma'iwa, who they continue to push and talk to one another. Ma'iwa came into this game weighing 296 pounds, and he's a running back. A lot of guys would like to have some tackles at 296.
And you need to get him going. That's a kind of a tough play for him, just running that standstill draw play to get him going. He's like one of those big engines that you need to get rolling downhill first. Griswold not too happy on the sidelines.
Yeah, barking out to get his defense to hold, as they'll lose 2 on the carry. It'll bring up a 2nd and 12. Ma'iwa stays in the backfield. Got to give great pass protection as the lone back there to block. Brennan. Ball is knocked down, almost intercepted by Devon Walker. See Walker getting up and heading back towards the field to play, and he had his hands on it but just couldn't hang on.
And he makes a nice little recovery here. He gets turned around a little bit, and I think when he goes up for the ball, he's just falling a little bit off balance.
Looked like he was struggling to get a foot down, and when he tried to do that, then he lost concentration on the ball. Well, here are the 3rd down conversions tonight. You mentioned 4 of 5. They've been averaging 50% this year, but Hawaii in this ball game in the first half, red hot. On the handoff, Ilawa bowling over a tackler at the 5-yard line, as Nick Hawthorne, who's a pretty good sticker himself, number 28, meet Mr. Nate Ilawa at the 5-yard line, and you'll get another great look at this from the field.
And just a nice little draw play by Hawaii, and Nick Hawthorne throws it right up in there, but he's given up 50 pounds to Ilawa. Stopped him short by about a yard.
That 5.5-hour flight that's coming up later tonight, he'll feel that on the flight.
Hawaii, their final team timeout.
Now we look at the drive. With the ball inside the 5-yard line on 8 plays, the Warriors have gone 77 yards. What they need are those final 3.
And we talked, you know, this one thing that I wasn't sure that this Hawaii offense can do is put those together, those 8, 9, 10, 11 play, 12 play drives. And they've been very efficient tonight, and we're able to finish them off with scores, with you know, touchdowns in the red zone, and not just taking field goals.
Well, what's interesting is they started the ball game by just passing, which everybody expected them to do, but especially on this drive, they've mixed the pass and the run pretty well. And Nevada's really been playing pass because Brennan's been chewing them up, but they give the ball to Alawa, and Alawa's on this drive alone has had a good evening. He has 5 carries for 97 yards. The big one on the 3rd down and 3 when he broke it and got the Wolfpack 47-yard line.
And we talked about trying Nevada's offense to establish that run and control the ball and keep that Hawaii offense off the field. They've had the ball almost at least 17 minutes.
Chris, here's the interesting. They're not going to opt for the field goal. On a 4th and about a yard for the first time, Brennan's going to go up under center. With a play fake. The bootleg. Throws at the goal line, and they've got another touchdown. Ross Dickerson. He and Ian Sample have put together a pretty good package tonight. With that grab, they make it a 30-14 game. Well, Brennan deserves the adulation on the sideline because he has really engineered a sound performance here in the first half. Make it 31 with a conversion and back to another 17-point lead.
And Hawaii's been averaging 43 points a game. And you don't see Brennan underneath that center very often, but run a little play action pass and got him wide open. They stifle him at the goal line, but not able to wrap him up and take him down.
Yeah, Justin Jackson hit him, and I'm not sure why he didn't push him backward. Joe Garcia bounced off him, and Dickerson didn't seem to be phased. You get a good look from the backside. I don't know what size helmet he wears to keep all that hair inside.
Double extra large.
Tell you one thing, though, and you know this, it's a pretty good cushion to have all that hair because you take some licks on the hat.
Gasol doesn't have a whole lot to be happy about tonight, especially with his defense.
And you can tell he's grimacing and grousing about that, but he's still got 30 minutes of football when this 1:48 expires of the first half.
Well, if they're going to have any chance to, you know, rally and come back in this game, they're going to have to make some serious changes at halftime on their approach to stop this Hawaii offense.
Sanders should not bring this out, and he will not. About 4 to 5 yards deep. And again, there's some pushing back and forth on special teams. Something about this Aloha Stadium, and the many times I've been over here to see Nevada play Hawaii. Hawaii gets ginned up, not like on the road. When they go on the road, they're a more passive team. But here in front of their hometown crowd, they seem to be more exercised. They just will come after you time after time. But on the road, they don't play the same way.
No, it's different. It's the same way that when the teams from the mainland come on over here and play. It's a little bit different. It's a longer trip for them. So.
Nevada with a 1st and 10 at their 20. Hawaii sends 3 and they drop 8. Rowe throwing up the seam. Pudewell is tied in. Will cross the 45-yard line. First catch tonight for Anthony Pudewell.
And Jeff just gave it enough time for Pudewell, just straight streaks down the field, and letting Pudewell just get behind those linebackers, and Jeff delivers a nice ball.
Pudewell had 38 yards coming into this one. He just picked up 27 on that catch. We've got a flag down as the officials are trying to move the respective teams back off the sideline. They're starting to encroach on the field, and they want to keep them back. 1:09 to go before the end of the first half. As you said earlier, the clock starts and starts to run as you see on the top of your screen. But Chris, there is time. Rowe. Ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, then he jumped up and knocked it down. He spiked it himself because he didn't want somebody else grabbing it. He had Carl Noah, number 12, in his face. Speaking of spiking it, University of Nevada volleyball team, undefeated in conference, will play the Wahine for Hawaii tomorrow. They won 108 in a row, I believe, the Wahine have in the WAC conference.
And you see Noah just getting up there, and Jeff Rowe had a wide open. Caleb Spencer just playing man coverage.
Yeah, Caleb had gone down and then made a little inside move, and Rowe read him all the way, but couldn't get the ball to him. 2nd and 10. Underneath, Spencer open at the 45, inside the 40, and he'll go down, and that'll move the sticks.
And Caleb Spencer just sitting down there in the zone and doing a nice job after the catch, gaining some positive yards.
Caleb was married this year here in the islands, his family, and Jeff Rowe, one of the favorite guys on the team, came over for the wedding here in Hawaii. So they know one another well, and they can hook up. Another completion for Rowe as he starts to just work his way down the field once again. Mike McCoy with the grab. Wolfpack with a hurry-up offense. No huddle. They want to keep it moving. 34 seconds remain here in the first half as the clock starts.
And Nevada really wants to come away with 6 points here rather than settle for a field goal. We've got plenty of timeouts to do so.
Again, Rowe on a little slant. Ball tipped in the air, and it's incomplete, and we might have pass interference. I think Myron Newberry climbed on the back of the intended receiver, McCoy, and we will see when they sort it out.
And I think Myron Newberry did get there a little bit early. I think this is what they're going to call as pass interference.
Pass interference on the defense, number 38. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
There's Jerry Glanville.
He doesn't like the call, but you'll see here number 38 Newberry making the break on the in route and getting there just. Ooh.
Boy, that's they pulled a hair trigger on that one, didn't they? Now, he had his hand in his back. Okay, that's why. He had pushed earlier, but he made it look good. He disguised it for us up here anyway. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line for Nevada. They've got 17 seconds with which to work. Little fade for the end zone, and they went the wrong way. The receiver came inside. Darlington came inside. They threw it outside. That doesn't hurt Rowe. He stops the clock.
And that's just a mental breakdown, I think, by Jack Darlington. Jeff Rowe pretty upset because Darlington had leverage, and he had him to the outside.
Yeah, Fragger was running a wheel route out of the backfield, but there's no chance he could get to the end zone that quickly. Only took him 3 seconds to run the play.
Looks like Hawaii's going to come after Jeff Rowe.
And they jump across the line of scrimmage. Now, where they drawn? Michael Lafaele comes across. There you see Lafaele, big number 67. 6 feet. He goes at 302.
And Nevada clapping like it's against Hawaii.
Prior to the snap, defense, offside. 5-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, remains second down.
Thing that does, it gives Chris Ault and Jeff Rowe time to, and you just saw the end of that conversation, gives them time to talk about what they want to do, because you're very hurried in the last 14 seconds of a half, and it's the time when you really need something right to go the way you want it to go.
And clearly, that last replay there, Lafaele, clearly offsides.
Rowe a little late in delivering, but McCoy has the catch for the touchdown, and Jeff Rowe looking and watch him come off the field as he limps to the sideline. It's going to be interesting the second half and see how healthy he's going to be.
And Jeff makes a nice play to stand in the pocket, delivers to Mike McCoy, who catches a touchdown, which is the 6th touchdown of the season.
And McCoy was open earlier. Jeff actually read him a little bit late and still had the arm strength to get it there. Jekyll with the spot, the kick, and likewise it is good. With 10 seconds remaining here before halftime, it continues to be up and down the field.
Yeah, and that's a nice drive by the offense to give them a little momentum. You know, going into halftime only down by 10 points. But again, the Wolfpack's going to have to figure something out on the defense just to slow this Hawaii offense down.
Yeah, you know, right, going in his mind. You played for him. Chris Ault walking the sideline. You know those wheels are going. See, there's Jeff Rowe. That's what I was worried about. Mark Paul, the trainer, is taking him to the locker room. And I saw Jeff limp off afterwards. And he's a little gimpy. So it's going to be interesting what happens the start of the second half, because Nevada will have the ball.
And it didn't look like an ankle injury. It looked like something that was
in the groin area.
Groin area, his quad or his hip flexor.
Remember, it all happened after the 15-yard penalty. And so what? You got a 15-yard penalty. But if your quarterback is disabled and not able to play, then the penalty, you give up 15 yards any time of the day or night to get the top flight quarterback that Jeff Rowe is out of the ball game.
Yeah, and this pistol offense really is predicated on having a quarterback that's able to be very mobile.
The sky kick coming up short, taken at the 30-yard line and going to the knees immediately with 6 seconds remaining. See if Hawaii can get one play, and you know if they get it, you know where they're going. They're headed for pay dirt. Will they actually get to the line of scrimmage, or will they punch it in here with the new rules this year? The ball's set, and Hawaii's not going to come to the line of scrimmage, so they're just going to wind the clock out, and that's going to be it for the first half. We've had 52 points put on the scoreboard here in the first half. We'll take a timeout, return to Aloha Stadium here on the Wolfpack Sports Network. Well, there you get a look at the night sky. You get a look at the night sky. Hello. Well, you get a look at the night sky, and you feel like a piece of cheese right now, maybe with that full moon.
I think so. I mean, it's been a long night, and you get that full moon out there, anything can happen.
And that has happened in the first half at 52 points, and we'll get a look at some of the highlights of the first half as you see the band down on the field entertaining the crowd. And we'll take a look at the first half highlights. First of all, starting off with the University of Nevada.
And Jack Darlington making a nice catch here to extend the drive for Wolfpack, setting up his own touchdown here that he gets here in a 19-yard strike from Jeff Rowe. And you see Brendan Frager shoving it in from 3 yards out. And the last touchdown to Mike McCoy from 3 yards out from a nice little strike from Jeff Rowe.
And then on the other side of it, a lot of highlights for Hawaii with the 31 points.
And this is just the first of 2 touchdowns by Sample. This one being the 63-yarder on a broken play by the Nevada defense. And then you see the big guy taking it downfield. And he's showing his size, 250 pounds. Nate Iloa. They go to the running game. And he's setting his stuff up, taking it, showing it that he has a little speed to take it downfield. And you know, as you get in here, Dan, and looking at that run game, running so well, sets up a nice play action pass. And the last touchdown to Dickerson there for a 3-yard score.
Not only is Hawaii running the ball better than Nevada, when you get a look at the halftime highlights, you just saw those. Now you look at the stats coming up, and here's a team, Hawaii's been averaging only 91 yards on the ground. Chris, they're more than 20 yards in the first half over their average.
And everything that you look at going into this game for the Nevada Wolfpack is that, you know what, you run the ball well, Hawaii doesn't. You know what, you create turnovers, and Hawaii gives them up, and they're losing in all the categories that they had the strengths coming into, this Nevada Wolfpack team. And then you see the big thing here is the time of possession. It's going from 17 minutes down to 12. But we'll see what the Wolfpack can do coming out here in this second half.
So We'll find out when the third quarter comes back. Oh, that's Alamoana? Okay. The second half of tonight's game is brought to you by Mortgage of America, fast, easy loans. And by Champion Chevrolet, where you're the winner. Now we check during halftime, Chris, and to find out what the condition of Jeff Rowe is. We will find out on the first play. We have been told it can be anything from a groin to a pulled hamstring. Don't know yet, but watching him walk on the sideline, I think he's going to come in the ball game, but he was limping just ever so slightly. Travis Moore was behind the bench throwing the football and loosening up.
And, you know, an injury like that, that's one that's a nagging injury. That's something that, you know, during the game time, you got that adrenaline going. You know, it's something you really can fight through. And, you know, Jeff's a competitor just like, you know, anybody else out here. And he's going to take a little bit more than that to get him out of the game.
Dan Kelly's line drive kick will go bounding out of the end zone, and the battle will start 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Maybe get a shot of Rowe coming off the sideline, just see how he is getting onto the field, how well he is doing that. As their offense about to come on, but hold everything.
Kicking team offside, number 28. That's a 5-yard penalty added on to the 20.
That's why the special teams was staying out there, because of the 5-yard penalty. See Rowe's numbers in the first half, 14 of 17, and he's anxious to get out on the field, you can tell, but a little more gimpy than he started the ball game.
And just been very efficient Jeff Rowe's been very efficient in each game. I mean, you see there 14 of 17. The one thing he hasn't been having is his big games yardage-wise, and he's already got 179 yards in just the first half, so he's going to look into have a big night tonight.
June Jones, Chris Ault's counterpart on the other side. They will play 14 games this year, believe it or not. People near the end of the year love to come to Hawaii. The last 4 games are here at home against La Tech, San Jose State, Purdue, and Oregon State. Oregon State, by the way, was beaten by Washington State today. So the Beavers having a tough go. Washington State beat them 13-6, the final score. UCLA beat up on Arizona 27-7. With the 5-yard penalty, now Kelly will kick off from the 30-yard line. Sanders standing at about his 5 with a chance to return it. Strong end-over-end kick. To the right side, Sanders starts upfield. Nice spin at the 30-yard line. He got some extra distance out of that, so Nevada will have a respectable field position. Check the sideline again. Jeff Rowe has got the offensive unit around him. As you get, there's a shot, overhead shot of Jeff.
That's one thing that Chris Ault won't do. I mean, he's not going to abandon that run. He's going to try to continue to establish that, because if he can get that going in the second half, that's maybe one way that he can turn the tide and keep that Hawaii offense on the sideline.
Rowe looked pretty good coming out on the field, so let's see how he can operate here as we begin the third quarter. Pack trailing by 10. Fragger looking for the hole, getting to the line of scrimmage. He'll get it to the 35, and that'll be it. Gain of 2.
And this run game is very important to this Wolfpack offense. They thrive off that because they really like to run a lot of play action, pass, boot, get Jeff Rowe out on the perimeter. We'll remain to see if they do that here in the second half with Jeff Rowe limping.
Rowe will send 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Spencer starts in motion towards the middle. Rowe looks his way, throws underneath to McCoy at the 40. McCoy will be dragged down. Ball comes loose, but he was down. When he hit the surface, the ball popped up. C.J. Hawthorne will make the stop.
And Jeff Rowe just buying some time in the looking downfield and checking it down to Mike McCoy. He's trying to protect that ball. And see there, pops out right when he hits the ground.
The thing about Rowe, when he looked at, he was on his toes, dropping back. He didn't show any effects of that hit in the first half, and that's a good omen starting here in the second half. 1st and 10, the Pack at their own 45. Again, Rowe looks to throw. Nice catch, a diving catch by the tight end Anthony Pudewell. He had a 27-yarder in the first half. He will gather that one in just across midfield at the, let's see where they spot it, between the 48 and 49.
And that's just a nice play there. Pudewell, just Adam Leonard coming up there, what we call the Trojan look, where that linebacker gets right up above him, plays a man-on-man, and Pudewell makes a nice little catch in the out route.
Second and 3. We should have put a pedometer on Chris Hall to see how far he will travel the sideline, but the best estimates that we've heard over the years are about 5 miles that he'll go up and down the sidelines. Fragger with a good carry will get enough of the first down, and he goes inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Rowe and Alt continue to consult between plays. Got an injured Hawaii player, and that's what's slowing things up just a little bit. Reminder, Nevada will have a bye next week. They will be off, and then the following week it's homecoming. The Hall of Fame dinner on Friday night prior to the game with San Jose on Saturday afternoon. That'll be a 4 o'clock start, by the way.
And that's a nice that bye time. That bye game comes at a good time, especially when you make a long trip like this over to Hawaii. It's going to give you some time to get yourself back there and not have to rush and prepare for another game the following Saturday.
Allen Jones, C.J. Allen Jones, he's got 2 last names, is the guy that was injured, but he's going off under his own power, so he's okay.
Nevada's putting a nice little drive here coming out of the second half, and you know they can throw one in there and pull this game to make it a 3-point game. Turns it all around.
1st and 10 at the Warrior 44-yard line. Rowe looks left, throws for Spencer, in and out of his hands. Caleb with a fingertip try to catch that ball, and it squirts out. He had 4 catches in the first half. Myron Newberry on the coverage was giving him the room that he needed, and that's a grab that Spencer will make 95% of the time.
Yeah, that's not something that Caleb Spencer does very often. He's walking back the huddle, pounding his chest, my bad, and he's not going to let that happen again.
Jeff Rowe not perturbed by it at all. Brings up a 2nd and 10. On the delay, Fragger sheds a tackle, but he takes a pretty good licking just inside the 40-yard line. One thing about Hawaii, when they rally to the ball, they bring all their arsenal. They'll come right at you and hit you and try to knock you off your feet as quickly as they can.
And we're talking to Jeff Rowe earlier in the week and this Nevada offense, and talking about Hawaii's defense, saying that how much more sound they are this year compared to last year.
They are. Jerry Glanville, you know, he tried to throw the kitchen sink in last year, but he's realized the talent he's got, and he's developed his defense around that. A 3rd and 4. Rowe throws in an open area and a little mix-up. Pudewell was the intended receiver, I believe, and the ball was over his head. And Spencer was on a fly down the right sideline. So now Nevada will have a 4th down. They have punted once tonight for 33 yards. And that's what they're going to do again. All in row talking.
Yeah, there's got to be a miscommunication. Jeff just telling them there, and Chris Alt finding.
So Hawaii's defense holds. As you said, the attack was putting a pretty good drive together, headed down the field in their opening possession of the 3rd quarter. They get stymied here at Hawaii's 38-yard line. Whited, the punter, little pooch kick, and that will be fielded at the 21-yard line. And a pretty good return, so he didn't fool anybody as he tried to pooch kick that one. And Kenny Patton, who is normally a corner, makes the play. We'll take a timeout here on the Wolfpack Sports Network. Colt Brennan starts his offense at the 38-yard line. Waiting for the timeout to end as you get a look in the crowd. Brennan. Brennan going up the seam, going deep. Incomplete. Intended once again for Ian Sample. Sample on a fly down the middle of field. Had his man beaten, but Brennan just flat overthrew him.
And they're coming right off where they left off in that first half, taking a shot downfield and had him open. Devon Walker step behind.
Chris, you and I are talking during that timeout saying, you know, you've got to change something with Brennan. His opening possession, try to get to his confidence, somehow disrupt what he's doing, or otherwise it is going to continue to be a long night. Music.
Yeah, you're right. It's something where it's either a turnover, knock him down, you know, get him out of his rhythm.
Little shovel pass. Aloha breaking a second tackle. He'll get it to midfield. It's just amazing. You take him straight on, and he is going to ricochet, going to bounce off. He's like a pinball running back at 250 pounds. You hit him one way, he's going to go the other way.
Brennan just getting a little shovel pass to Aloha. And like you said, he's just falling forward and gets the ball knocked out.
Yeah, that thing was ejected in a hurry, wasn't it? Nate Aloha. He's just a sophomore, so Nevada's going to see him for a couple more years. Brennan, who is a junior, originally from Irvine, California, transferred from the University of Colorado. At midfield, 1st and 10. Again, Aloha going left. They try to gang tackle him and push him off balance, but he will get enough, it looks like, for a first down. See the spot. if it'll be on the 40-yard line or not. No, he's going to be a yard short at the 41-yard line of Nevada.
And it's not something I don't think that the Wolfpack defense has really game planned a lot is for a run game from Hawaii.
Eloa with 6 carries and 106 yards. And remember, coming into this game, Hawaii as a team had averaged 91 yards on the ground. So Nate Eloa having a whale of a night, proving that they're not a one-dimensional team. Brennan looking. Boy, he has all kinds of time. And what a grab. Devon Best hung in the air longer than Nevada's defense. Justin Jackson was back there. He went up. I thought he was going to pick it off, Chris, but he didn't have the hang time that Devon Best did.
Now, and Devon Best is running some phenomenal routes. You know, he just sits it down, and he's able to throw it just in the outskirts of the fingers of Justin Jackson. And you'll see here Devon Best just sit, run to the corner, runs right by Justin Jackson.
See, Jackson was up there, but not quite long enough. Hawaii on the move with another first down at the Pac 23-yard line. With a 10-point lead, trying to add to it. Again, Brennan, just all kinds of time. To the 10-yard line, guess who? Same guy, Best with a reception. You know, when you look at Brennan, it's like looking at a video game. I mean, there's nobody getting to him. He does what he wants, and the results are usually very good. He's completed 25 of 31 passes for, get this, just under 300 yards.
And he's got all the time in the world, and that's something, especially in this run and shoot offense, is that they like the quick throws, but June Jones really works with his quarterbacks to make him feel comfortable standing in that pocket for 3, 4, 5 seconds and able to deliver that ball.
Brennan throwing for 294 yards, and we just have begun here in the third quarter. There's the shovel pass, and this time Eloa won't break as many tackles as he has previously. Nevada played that pretty well.
Jeremy Engstrom making a nice tackle, getting them low, and that's the key to when you're up against a big back like Eloa. And Engstrom just working it down the line and grabbing him by the ankles.
Yeah, starting sliding down from the knee. And Eloa, you mentioned big back at roughly 250 pounds, but he's only 5'9", so he didn't give you a lot of opportunity to shoot him low. On his second consecutive carry, and once again, there is Engstrom to haul him down. Jeremy Engstrom, who is a freshman, led this Wolfpack team in tackling. Had a kind of an off year last year, so they moved him from the inside to the outside. He's an outside linebacker, and he likes it a lot more there.
I think he's been a lot more productive. I think he feels comfortable out there.
So with the 2 solid stops after a prolific passing performance coming down the field, Hawaii runs it twice. And in those 2 carries, they get a total of 3 yards. They've got now a 3rd and 7. The ball at Nevada's 7-yard line. Brennan wants to go back up top. Throws, ball knocked down. Jason DeMars got a hand up and knocked it down. I thought maybe he was going to pick that off because Brennan, not a wise choice. He threw that in a lot of traffic.
And Jason DeMars did a great job. Basically, all he was doing was reading Colt Brennan's eyes. You can see Colt Brennan here. He's just staring down his receiver. And Jason DeMars just watching his eyes, putting his hands up, and makes a nice deflection.
I'll tell you, if DeMars doesn't get it, the guy behind him does. So the second field goal attempt for Dan Kelly tonight. This will be from the right angle, and it'll be a 25-yard attempt. Plenty of leg, and it is good. Make it a 34-21 game. Reminder, you're viewing the Wolfpack Sports Network. Well, they haven't started off scoring the second half like they did the first half, but the field goal by Hawaii extends their lead. Chris Alt again continuing to patrol the sideline. I'm going to ask his wife Kathy if they're going to put a pedometer on him sometime so we can see how far he just does walk during a game.
No, he can't sit down. See Hawaii going 9 plays and taking down 53 yards in 3.5 minutes, or 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Kelly with his second field goal tonight. Special teams have been something that Hawaii delights in playing. Guys really play hard to just get on a special team and race down the field and make a tackle. This one in the end zone will not be returned by Saunders. But they have a lot of pride, and they've built that esprit de corps on these special teams that guys, if you get the shot, you better perform because somebody else is standing right behind you.
And they, like you said, they do take a lot of pride in it. And that break, Chris Alt and Jeff Rowe were having a long conversation about what they want to do in this next possession. And again, I mean, going, taking it 11, 12 play drives, you got to be pretty efficient in that last one where Pudewell wasn't running the right route, and then they have to kick the ball and give it right back to Hawaii.
Rowe with 196 yards in the air so far tonight. He looks left side. The completion of Darlington, who's having a career game tonight as he hauls another one in. Darlington, before that catch, had caught 5 in the first half, and you, during our halftime highlights, highlighted the 19-yard touchdown catch he made. So he's got 6 catches.
And they really expected a lot, especially last year. Jack coming in from Tucson, Arizona, dealing with some injuries last year, but playing very, very well tonight.
Well, he's getting his shot. Kyle Salmons, who was expected to be one of the starting wide receivers, and there's Hubbard with a carry, a premier pass catcher this year, got injured before the season started, and he's sitting the entire year, so that's giving Darlington the chance as we get a look at Hubbard, the senior from Oakland, California.
And you'll just see Hubbard following his blockers right off the butt, and Pudewell again getting beat on the inside.
Big third down for Nevada. They cannot punt again. They have got to keep this drive alive. They're trailing now 34-21. They've got to manufacture some points, and a near grab by, you called it, Pudewell was the intended receiver. The ball got tucked in his left hand, and then coming over, Adam Leonard knocked it loose, make sure that Anthony didn't hang on.
And that's just a poor throw by Jeff. Something that maybe the injuries.
Yeah, he threw the ball to the inside, not the outside. You see Leonard going off the field, and Chris Alt talking to Jeff Rowe, who seems a little bit frustrated right now.
And I think Chris Alt wanted him to go to the 3 receiver side rather than the isolation on the tight end there, Pudewell.
Newberry is deep, and there's the kick by Whited. He really got his foot into that one. Back to the 29-yard line. A little bit of a seam going up the field, and there's Garrison to make the solidifying hit at the 44. We will take a timeout on the Wolfpack Sports Network. Hey, take a look at the overall offenses tonight. Nevada with 39 plays, 273 yards. Hawaii with 45 plays and 417 yards. It's big discrepancy, big plays. You said in the pregame show, Chris, that they can bend and not break and not allow the big plays. Nevada had a chance. Right now, they're trailing.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we only had one possession here in the second half, but I'm not sure if we've seen really any changes in how to stop this Hawaii offense and Colt Brennan.
Good field position starting at their 43. There's Aloha again. Over midfield, look out. He's like a Sherman tank. You know, this is military night at Aloha Stadium, and military were offered a 2-for-1 ticket. Well, they're seeing their own ground attack in Nate Aloha, who is just chewing up yard after yard.
And Nate Aloha, they're finding something running into the boundary against this Nevada Wolfpack defense. And Nate Aloha scampering only 8 carries for 124 yards. Big night.
Chris, usually you see backs and Aloha goes to the sideline to get a breather, and he deserves it, who would like to run away from people. He just likes to run over people.
If I was that big, I'd want to run some people over too.
Probably would. Brennan. And again, pinpoint passing. He'll hit Jason Rivers with enough for the first down inside the Wolfpack 30-yard line. June Jones, well, his expression doesn't change all night long. He could be ahead by 30 or behind by 30. We haven't seen him in behind by 30. We saw him behind by 4, but he hasn't changed.
Now, and they've done everything that they've game planned and wanted to do against Nevada.
Now that guy's face has more emotion.
That's for sure. And he wears it on his sleeve as well.
And you're down by 13. Maybe you'd be more concerned. And he shows it. Hawaii with a 4-receiver group. And there's their big guy in the backfield. Iwa will get a short gain on the reception. And pretty good one-on-one tackle. Again, you look at the size of that guy. For those who weren't with us in the beginning of the game, here's a guy with a ball who was on the defensive line last year. And they finally said, hey, maybe come on the offensive side. Look at that, 296. Colt Brennan's got to feel pretty good about the protection he can afford. Second and 7. Again, the wide receiver screen and just tiptoeing through the traffic. Pick up another first down, and that's Chad Mock. When you look at our depth chart, we'll get another look at this play.
Just make a nice little quick screen to the middle. Chad Mock again making something miss, and you see Charles Wilson right there, number 93, trying to make the tackle, but misses it and allows Mock to gain the first down.
Yeah, hands just slid off him, and you know there are 9 receivers in our depth chart tonight getting ready for this ball game, and I'm not sure that Brennan hasn't used all of them. There's the shovel pass. Aloha. And head of steam trying to roll into the end zone. I don't think he got there though.
They're going to call him just short of the goal line. And I'm really impressed with his ability to make people move as well, or miss, as well as run guys over. You'll see here, shakes it, cuts it back against the grain, cuts back against the grain. Again, making guys miss.
How many white shirts you see? 3 or 4? There's 1. 2, well, that's at the end of the play, but. And Brennan, the presence of mind to just move with the offense. He wanted to throw that ball, but he saw a lower open, he got a shovel pass, and look at they get to the 1-yard line. Up under center once again. Second time tonight. Going high in the air, and I don't know if he got in or he fumbled the ball at the goal line. Nevada says they've recovered it. And if they recover in the end zone, they'll get it at the 20. There's a giant hit, and I hope we get another good look at that.
Ball is recovered in the end zone. That's a touchback.
So we'll get another. Let's take a look at this hit.
And you'll see Nate Aloha. Normally he's the one delivering the blow.
Exactly.
And he's just going over the left side. He's going to try to, instead of using his legs, he's going to try to jump over and leap over. And as he gets up there, he gets smacked right in the mouth there and gets it taken out.
See if we can see who got him in the air. Yeah, there's Milan on the outside, and it's JJ who cut his helmet right on the ball.
Yeah, I think so. JJ put his helmet in there. And
yep, that's it. Good camera work, our end zone camera. Great work, guys. You see JJ Milan, number 91, coming in, put his helmet right on the football. Recovered in the end zone. Nevada will have it 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And hopefully this is that momentum change that we've been trying to talk about, is to be able to capitalize on this turnover.
On the ground, coming left. Not much running room, and I hope Hubbard didn't give it right back. He fumbled earlier in the ball game, and he may have given it right back. Adam Leonard will come up with it. My goodness. Well, let's take a look and see how this one came loose.
Yeah, he sheds his block here. Adam Leonard makes the play and then recovers the ball. Fantastic individual effort there by Adam Leonard.
Yeah, watch him take on. Yeah, there he is, taking on and stripping at the same time. How do you do that? How do you teach that?
No, you don't teach that. That's just athletic ability and being able to make plays.
Chris Auld on the sideline, a little dumbfounded right now. What happened? Hubbard has fumbled twice tonight. You mentioned it a couple times, Chris, that Nevada came in with a +7, and Hawaii said, I don't think you're that good, and they've turned things around. At the 21-yard line, 1st and 10. Brennan with plenty of time. Throws a low bullet, and that was close to being an uncatchable ball. Devon Best did his job, but he couldn't go down low enough. There you get a look at Adam Leonard. Jerry Glanville pretty happy about the way that youngster's playing defense.
Yeah, they like him a lot here. Again, he's leading the Hawaii defense in tackles. And
you know what's amazing about him, Chris? He walked on and then had a knee injury last year. Didn't play much. He's rehabbed. He's a sophomore from Seattle and a guy who just wanted to come here and play football, and he's doing a lot of it tonight. 2nd and 10. Get a good look from the end zone on Brennan. Again, that little dartboard throw underneath. Boy, that crackback block that got Ross Dickerson loose as he came laterally across the field. We'll get a good look at this block. Watch coming in, picking off just as Nevada was about to make a tackle.
Yeah, like you say, it's just a nice little throw and catch underneath here. And this is the one block that springs him, gets him another 5, 6, 7 yards.
Look, Dickerson with 7 catches tonight. Mentioned earlier, he came in with double that amount in the previous ball games. Again, Brennan, time to survey down deep, throws underneath. And Nevada, again, handling the underneath stuff. Ezra Butler, who's a premier player for Nevada. Butler from Calabasas, California, a guy who loved to play linebacker, and he plays in space pretty well.
And he makes a big play out there, keeping everything in front of him. And I wouldn't be surprised. They get this Hawaii offense. They put the one receiver here in this boundary, and they get one-on-one coverage every single time.
2nd and goal from the 7-yard line.
Looks like they're going to get some safety help in that boundary.
Warrior trying to pad their 13-point lead. Brennan in the back of the end zone, too tall. That's Chad Mock, and that's one of the disadvantages of having smaller receivers. Although Mock, one of the taller ones for Hawaii, he stands 6 feet tall. You look at Bess, he is 5'10". Bain is 5'9". Rivers, the tallest of all the receivers at 6'2", but Brennan not quite able to thread the needle.
Yeah, it's not as accurate as it was in the first half. And there he's had a couple receivers just in this drive, just off the mark a little bit, and that one is going to go for 6 points.
3rd and goal from the 7. Good protection once again for Brennan. And there's a poor throw. He just threw that way too high. Devon Best, we mentioned 5'9", and there was no way he was going to go up the ladder and get that. So Dan Kelly, who just kicked the field goal, will come back out on the field.
You know, Nevada secondary doing a great job of coverage downfield, and for a quarterback back there, you usually get in a rhythm where you get the ball and you, in this situation where you're in the shotgun, drop back a couple, yards, and then you're ready to throw the ball. But when you're back there for 4 or 5 or 6 seconds, you kind of get the happy feet, and you don't get your feet underneath you to make a proper throw.
That field goal is blocked. Nevada will field it inside their 5. They could just let that go in the end zone and got it out at the 20-yard line. Hines and Milan this year have done a pretty good job on blocking field goals. Last week, Milan got one down at Vegas. Jones not too happy about that. He comes away with no points. And Nevada will get the ball, even though it's deep in their territory with 1:07 to go in the third quarter. They'll have a 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line. So we saw 52 points in the first half. In the third quarter, all we have seen so far is a lone field goal.
Yeah, and they saw there that block that coming off the right side of your screen, just tipping that ball and making a very good play.
Yeah, we talked about Brennan went up under center twice. Rowe's going to do it for the first time tonight. The inside handoff. Nice reverse field by Brandon Frager. And he will get out all the way across the 25-yard line. Frager started out left, little stutter step, went back right. Now he gets up with a little dinged left shoulder.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's the one thing with this Jerry Glanville defense, and the defensive line coach Jeff Reinbold, they talk about throwing your body around and getting it in there, and they've done that tonight. Brandon Frager feeling it right there.
Yeah, you can tell he's playing through the pain. 1st and 10 Pack at their own 26. Rowe, nice outside move by Spencer to get open. He'll go over the 40, dive forward, and let's see where he goes out of bounds. But Spencer made the defense bite on the inside move and then turned around with his momentum. He was headed out, and Rowe put it right on his fingertips to carry him to the outside.
And I think this Nevada Wolfpack offense is going to go to something, not so much where you're throwing the ball down the field, every down like Hawaii is doing, but I think they're having so much success throwing the ball. Jeff Rowe throwing for 221 yards so far tonight.
Yeah, and they've got to find a way with 3 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Hawaii, their first charge.
They've got to find a way to make up that 13-point difference, because the final 15 are going to be crucial. And what's also crucial for the two teams, they have played one league encounter. Hawaii went to Boise in a ball game they could have won. They had 3 muff snaps on kicking attempts, and they thought that cost them the ball game, so they lose by 7 points. Nevada went to Fresno in the opener of the year, and they were within 3 of the ball game, and then they fumbled and had some things go wrong for them, so they're 0-1. Hawaii's 0-1. The loser of this game is 0-2, and tough road to climb. You said you didn't think that the loser of this ball game had a shot at the WAC title when we had dinner last night.
Yeah, that's it's something where playing a league opponent so early in on the season, where you look at where Fresno State is at this point, 1-4. They're losing to Utah State, and Nevada was just a couple plays away in that first game against Fresno. So if you change that schedule around a little bit, I think Nevada's playing well. They're coming on a 3-game win streak coming in here to Hawaii, and it makes it a whole different ball game.
What's really interesting about it, I think Fresno did some manipulation to get that game, the first game of the year, because you know who they play next week? A very angry LSU team who lost to Florida today. They go down to the Bayou and play LSU, and there could be some warfare going on between the Bulldogs and LSU down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's going to be the Bulldogs, they're going to be in for a dogfight there at Tiger Stadium.
Nevada with maybe the final play of the third quarter. A 1st and 10 at their own 45. On the ground, Frager looks inside, turns the right corner, he's crossed midfield. The late flag comes down as Frager hauling people out of bounds on the Hawaii side. Frager still looking at me. He puts that right arm up on his left shoulder, and the penalty will go against Nevada. Preliminary indication from Frank White, our official.
And I think they're going to get Jack Darlington for holding on the outside there.
Holding on the offense, number 86. That's a 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. We will have one on-time down.
Yeah, Darl, you were right. We're going to have one more play. But so we will hold it right here before we take our break, because this will be an untimed play. Frank White telling us. Got one play to end the third quarter, and then we'll take our timeout. Jeff Rowe coming in. Boy, Chris, he's running a lot better than I expected him to run in the second half. The way he left the field of play right at the end of the first half, and whatever they did to him, they have gotten him back where he's probably 90%. Now the officials are going to confer.
Yeah, it's those little things there. I mean, you want your receivers downfield. Jack Darlington getting called with the hold there. You know, you want them down there being physical, and
they'd rather he didn't, but you know what? Aggressive play, as long as it's going to be aggressive, do it 100%. Rowe's going to hit from behind and fumble, and Hawaii's going to recover. Big play at the end of the third quarter as Hawaii comes up with a loose ball. We come back. The Warriors are in business once again.
And Jeff Rowe just doesn't see him coming from behind. And Purcell just jumping on the ball right there.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's horrible.
What's he win? Pizza?
Something. Oh, you just won $1 million. Acts like you won $1 million bucks.
No matter how young or prude may be, he's always getting sued. A baby prune is like his dad, but he's not being.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union. Be part of something greater. And by Hometown Health. It's your hometown. And certainly by Bradley, Drendel, and Janae, your personal injury attorneys. And by First Horizon Home Loans, all things financial. So, Chris Vargas, you get a shot at the nightlife with a scene of downtown Honolulu, but that played in the third quarter after the penalty by Jack Darlington. We were talking about, okay, if you make an aggressive penalty, but now it turns out to be extremely costly because Jeff Rowe fumbles the ball, gives it to Hawaii with a very short field.
Well, he's forced to, like you said, it's, change it from, a 3rd and 4 rather than a.
So there is the replay official in the booth. So was Rowe's knee down before the ball came out or not? If it was, Nevada gets a big play going their way. If not, again, it's up to the defense.
And that'd be a big break for Nevada. And this is something that some coaches like, some you know, I think the fans like it a little bit more than coaches do. And I know Chris Salt's not a big proponent of replay and how they're doing it, but
he may be after this call, right?
We'll see
if it goes his way. And I know coaches aren't that easily influenced. Let's take another look and see if we can see if Jeff's knee was down.
I'm taking a big look here, and
well,
I think his knee is down there.
I think you're right. From that angle, he still looked like he had firm possession of the ball. Then it came out as he came down. Looked from behind in the end zone.
And I think we can get a better look here. Jeff pulling it into his belly, and his knee hits it right there. It's going to be pretty close, but I think his knee was down. I think
you're right.
I think it's enough to overturn and give it back to the Wolfpack.
Their sideline hoping so. Cameron Norcross checking the video screen to see how the referee is. He gives no facial indication one way or the other as Frank White trots out, and we'll find out right now.
There's indisputable video evidence that the player was down before the fumble occurred.
Well, there's a big one.
Second down on the 33-yard line, Nevada's ball.
Wow.
And a nice change of events for the Wolfpack offense, and breathe a little bit of life back into their game.
It's one thing to be good, but you got to be lucky. Both they've got to go together. And Jeff Rowe, who has been pretty much battered tonight, you could see clearly that his knee was down. Chris Salt's got the headset back on, so he's going to talk offense with Coach Kolanakis up top. Nevada waiting to send their offense out on the field as we get ready to start the final 15 minutes. Excuse me, Chris.
You know, one thing we haven't seen tonight is Nevada, you know, really, you know, is trying to stretch the Hawaii defense vertically. I mean, we've thrown some balls, you know, some deep out routes and some digs and some in routes, but nothing that's other than Pudewell, you know, down the middle. So.
You know, on Wednesday, when they came out in practice, we were on the ground about a half hour, 40 minutes, and then at Aloha Stadium, and they had a 3-hour practice. They were running some post routes. Marco Mitchell was the guy they were sending deep, and we haven't seen Marco since the start of the ball game. He dropped that ball about the 40-yard line in the opening drive, and we haven't seen him since. He and McCoy are the two guys that have the speed to get down the seams, and now they're taking another look.
And I think this is why coaches hate replay, is that it takes so long and going back and forth, and you know, I don't really understand if they've looked at it once. In my eyes, his knee's down.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. I don't know how they could reverse it possibly, but you know, you talk about speeding up the game, and that's what the replay was supposed to do to get the plays right. Nevada ran average 64.5 plays last year. With the new speeded up clock, they're averaging 60 a game. So the games have been a little bit shorter, but they've been running fewer plays. I guess that's part of it. But take into consideration, Nevada led the nation in time of possession. Well, let's see what Frank White has to say here. Or I guess he's not going to say anything. To continue and finalize my point, Nevada led the nation in time of possession. This year they're 48. So was that differential in time last year getting those extra plays? It may well have been.
Well, and I think you're right. And the one thing, yes, you know, the new rules do speed up the game, but you know, it really hurts a team that's, you know, in the last 5 minutes of a game of trying to make them, you know, amount a comeback, because it does speed up the game.
Nevada's ball, second down on the 33-yard line.
So same call. It'll be second down at the Pack's 33-yard line. But now it'll be second and 18 after the sack, and that's what you give Hawaii credit for, a sack. June Jones doesn't seem to be too perturbed about everything. The wave is alive, and boy, the noise is really starting to be deafening here. Rowe up the seam. Nice catch, just shy of midfield, and guess who? Jack Darlington once again sure-handed, hanging on.
And that's what you like to see about a receiver coming across the middle, because You know, this isn't a perfectly thrown ball right in his chest. It's a little high, and he's going to get stretched out across the defense. He's going to see that safety come over there. He ducks down just enough. But you like a receiver that's going to go across the middle and come down with the ball.
Yeah, sure do. And he ducked down enough not to take the full blow. Nevada will get almost what they needed. They got 16 of the 18 they needed. It'll be a 3rd down and 2. Luke Lippincott will carry for the first time tonight, but a flag at the line of scrimmage, and that usually indicates motion. Lippincott, who had been elevated to the number 1 position, turned his ankle down in Las Vegas last week, although he was playing behind Frager.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Changes the play entirely now, because now you've got a 3rd and 7. And you think you've got to go airborne to get it.
And, you know, it's that, and it's that frustration as a coach of, you know, doing those mental mistakes of you know, jumping off sides on a 3rd and 2 and forcing them into a 3rd and 7.
Listen to that crowd, trying everything they can to distract the concentration of Jeff Rowe. Boy, they're going to be close. The catch made by Spencer at midfield, and they'll give him the stretch across midfield, but I don't think it's enough. Should bring up 4th down and less than a yard.
And Jeff Rowe's going to find Caleb Spencer just sitting down here into the zone. And as you know, and when these guys are getting coached up and it's 3rd and 7, they really want them to get to that 7-yard mark, not to 6 and then have to stretch it out. Big 4th down play for the Wolfpack.
Nevada has made 3 of 6 4th down conversions. The ball is loose as they try to go up the middle, and I think Hawaii's got it back. Let's see if the ball carrier was down. I think they're going to call that at midfield. Nevada will come up short. That's Jeff Rowe stumbling off the field now. He's in some pain, you can tell. The adrenaline starting to wear off here in the 4th quarter, and we'll get another look at that play. A giant stand by the Warriors.
And this is what they like Luke Lippincott to do, just come down here in the middle.
For stop before he fumbled the ball. Hawaii, 1st down.
And boy, he didn't have a very good grip on that ball to begin with, and he looked like he was dancing in that hole rather than trying to shove it right up in the middle.
He was running horizontally. You need to go vertical. You need to go straight into the hole, as you said, Chris, and get that 1 tough yard. And when he started to veer off and didn't square his shoulders, he had no chance to get it. I think if they replay that, they'll find out it was a fumble. Regardless, Hawaii will get the ball. The only difference is they'll get the ball back probably about 10, 12 yards from where they would have had it been ruled a fumble. At midfield, 1st and 10, Warriors. Brennan again with shovel. Eloa. Well, what can you say about the tackling? Jonathan Amaya finally gets on top of Aloha and brings him down, but look at the shots upfield that the Wolfpack defense had clear one-on-one and couldn't bring him down.
Again, they're having the Hawaii offense having real success with the shovel pass, and as you said, Aloha is just enough to elude these guys, and you know he's coming out and having a career night at home.
His quickness, his foot speed, even going laterally, is wearing down the Wolfpack defense, and they just can't get a full hand on him. Brennan to throw. Looking in the end zone, a little short, the completion made at the 1-yard line. It is Devon Bess. So Bess with a giant play. They'll spot it where his knee went down at the 2.
And makes a nice little catch and sets him up for a nice opportunity to punch it in from 2 yards out.
If he keeps his balance, he's in the end zone.
Absolutely.
Brennan's numbers, he's just shy of 400. He's completed passes for 398 yards, having hooked up on 34 of 44 attempts. That time he wanted to pitch it and stumbled. We've got a flag down as he tried to get the ball to the back, but the timing was way off.
Yeah, he just not too comfortable being under that center. He took the snap and couldn't get a good grip on it and just fell down.
Illegal motion on the offense. Number 88, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
So Nevada opts to take the penalty rather than the play. They'll gain about 2 yards because the play would have been down at the 4. The line of scrimmage will now be the 6. Colt Brennan, boy, he checks a lot of equipment, doesn't he? Make sure he's buckled in. Initially, the Nevada defense was signaling they didn't want the penalty. They thought they could dig in and hold. On the option, Brennan, wow, a little too easy.
Colt Brennan doing it with his arms, and right there doing it with his legs. Did Mr. Everything for this Hawaii offense tonight. Nice little option play, and there's nobody to force Brennan to pitch that ball, and he waltzes in untouched.
You know, Chris, I said earlier, and obviously mistakenly, that LSU was the next game with Fresno State, and it's going to be Hawaii is going to Fresno State next week. Kick is on the way, and the extra point is good. We will take a timeout here on the Wolfpack Sports Network. Well, University of Hawaii is peaking at the right time. I said that Fresno was going to LSU. It's 2 weeks they go to LSU on the 21st. Guess who invades Fresno next week? These Hawaii Warriors. So they're peaking at the right time because they've got Fresno. Look at their scoring drive.
Got 3 plays going 50 yards, and Brennan just walking in from 6 yards out.
At the 1 yard line, Sanders fights for yardage, and he'll get very close to the 25. Now, Jeff Rowe went to the locker room. They're tending to him. Who's going to play quarterback? Is it going to be Moore or Graziano? We're about to find out.
Yeah, it looks like they got Travis Moore. He's got his helmet on. And
yeah. It is going to be Moore who's going to lead him out. Lippincott is going to stay in the backfield, and Jeff Rowe is in the locker room. We have no idea whether he'll play any more tonight. But he was pretty severely dinged in the first half. Came out and looked pretty good in the third quarter, at least in terms of his mobility. Moore, the 6'2", 215-pound senior, with a play fake. He'll sprint out left. Throwing upfield, complete. Nice move. Getting to the outside. And Spencer showing that he still has some speed. He ran away from people.
Yeah, you get Travis Moore in here. The one nice thing about, you know, nice little play. You get Travis out here on the edge, finding a wide open Caleb Spencer. But Travis Moore's been on the sideline being able to watch you know, the success that Jeff Rowe is having on the offense, and you know that gives you a little bit more, you know, ability to, you know, look the front side and the back side.
33 yards on the catch and run, and Luke Lippincott running right up the gut. He'll get it to the 30. He's one of those guys that tackle the tackle runner. He's not going to try to go outside and show you any fancy dance stuff. Goes up and lowers his head, and he'll take it to the 30-yard line.
You see Lippincott coming in, delivering a blow here. Just a little zone play and bringing it to right into his mouth.
Yeah, Leonard Peters, who steps up, usually a pretty good hitter, he went flying backward. A 20-point ball game. Nevada's got to start to make some noise on the scoreboard as they try to run up the gut. This time, not much there.
And Chris always talks about that. You know, your chance is just to play away, and you know, you got Lippincott in here, and I think Frager's been beat up a little bit tonight. You saw him grimacing earlier in the game, and now you got Travis Moore. So, you know, Chris always talks about guys stepping up and being ready to play.
Yeah, Frager, he had a dinged shoulder. He stayed in the ball game, and then Hubbard put the ball on the surface twice, so you know he's going to sit for a while. So Lippincott, Kyle Eklund is here. We could see him. Gain of 2 on the last carry. It's 2nd and 8. Flag down at the line of scrimmage. The throw on the break incomplete, as Moore just a little too quick to rush the throw intended for Darlington.
Travis did a nice job there, recognizing that the blitz was coming and getting the ball off and getting it away.
Offside on the defense. Number 31. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Boy, that's a good part of it. Not only do you get the 5 yards, but you get the play over.
And with 9:44 left in this game, this Wolfpack offense needs to put 7 points up on the board and not settle for a field goal.
So Fresno lost today at Logan, Utah. They've got Hawaii coming to town next week. Then they go to Baton Rouge against LSU. They've got a pretty tough road, and Hawaii playing well at the right time. Nice throw. Spencer breaks the tackle, tries to step inside, and is hauled down. Caleb over 100 yards, 102 before that catch.
Nice little play action pass here by Travis Moore, and wanting to look for the corner. He's getting beat up, corner route upstairs, and checks it down to Caleb Spencer. Makes a guy miss.
Yeah, Solomon Elaminiman
Please put
makes the
9:32
stop.
back on the clock. 9:32.
There you got Spencer's numbers on the screen. 10 catches for 112 yards. That's up to date.
Thank you.
Nice game for the youngster. He's from Honolulu. We mentioned that earlier. He went to King Kamehameha High School, where he was an all-star quarterback. Went the JC route, hurt his shoulder, and said, I can play wide receiver, and he's that good an athlete as he's showing tonight.
You got one-on-one coverage down here with Jack Darlington.
The play fake. Moore throwing for a touchdown. Anthony Pudewell with his first touchdown of the year, and he's had a nice night. He's been troubled all year long with a tender leg and ankle, but he's been key in the offense tonight, and he finally gets his first touch of the year.
Travis Moore does a nice job coming in on his first drive, being very efficient, and seeing Pudewell right there, and he throws it in a very nice spot. Keeps it low, delivers for a touchdown.
Pack trying to make it a 13-point game once again with the extra point. Moore is the holder. Jekyll's kick is on the way. It is good. So make it a 41-28 game here on the Wolfpack Sports Network. Well, University of Nevada to kick off with 9 minutes and 8 seconds remaining. Travis Moore came in and took up where Jeff Rowe left off in the first half anyway by moving the team and getting a touchdown.
Look at the scoring drive here. 5 plays, 75 yards. Travis Moore engineering, topping it off with a 13-yard touchdown pass to Pudewell.
What Nevada needs now is a takeaway. They have got to find a way to pry this ball loose, and this will be returned from the 4-yard line. That's Ross Dickerson. He runs into his own players, and then Shannon Savor had a hand on him. He gets knocked off, but regardless, Dickerson will get it out across the 15-yard line.
And that's what you said, Dan, is that, looking for a turnover, Colt Brennan's been so efficient tonight throwing that ball. This is when you're telling your guys that, we want to tackle these guys, but you really want to get that hand in and start swiping at it and trying to get a takeaway.
Need a takeaway. Brennan's thrown for 398 yards, just about on his season average. He's been averaging 410. Hawaii with that 13-point lead, and see if Nevada can slow him down here. Little wide receiver screen running through traffic. They love to get those little guys hidden behind some people heading downfield. And one of the best guys to do that is Chad Mock, who just made the catch.
And Mock's made a couple of those catches underneath with that middle screen.
Surprisingly, Mock came in this ball game with only 7 catches, and they expected early in the year that he, along with Dickerson and Bess, would be the guys that carry him. Well, Bess has done a pretty good job. Dickerson's rallied tonight to have the good night that he's had. On first down, Iloa going right, runs through the first couple of tacklers, and finally the third wave gets him. Crowd appreciative of the effort he's put forth tonight, because he has just run over people, not run around them very much, although he's given a few guys the slip.
Yeah, he's had one of a career night. You can see there trying to suck a little wind there, but when you're having a night, he's got 9 carries for 124 yards. You're getting a 11-yard average per carry. You want to stay in there all night.
Aloha, surprisingly enough, has been averaging slightly over 7 yards a carry this year. But it's been because I think he caught the defense by surprise so often. But now they're going to give him more credibility. There's a little dump pass. Nate Iloa again, still running through people. They hang on, but they can't grab enough shirt to bring him down. So you mentioned the yardage he has. 10 carries for 133. Aloha's caught now 8 balls for 68.
And again, they're just working on the shovel pass to Nate Aloha. Just makes a guy miss there. And again, he's done it all tonight. He's been able to make guys miss. You see there, dragging guys along for an extra 4 yards.
Well, you look at a game like this with so much offense and so many people playing well, and you look at a player of the game, and we'll sort that out. But
yeah, there's players of the game for Hawaii. You can name a few guys. Looks like a Hercules Satali.
Hawaii has another first down, just shy of midfield, as we have just gone under the 7-minute mark in the ball game.
We haven't seen Nevada put too much pressure on Colt Brennan all night, especially here in the second half. And we'll have him come after him.
Yeah, they got him early, and they thought maybe they would rattle him a little bit, but he's been able to do what he wants when he wants. Well, that's the first miscue that Iloa has made tonight, as that ball skids through and out of his hands.
And they've been the only people really stopping this Hawaii offense is themselves. Nevada hasn't been able to do too much to slow them down.
You know, they've made the game competitive, but they're fighting in second spot. You know, they went on top 7-3, and I thought, oh boy, this is going to be a real shootout. And then when Jeff Rowe got injured, you don't know how much that really changed the complexion of the offense, what he was able to do and not do, because obviously he was playing in pain. Boy, Aloha as the workhorse, they tried to send him right side. This time it is all stacked up, nowhere for him to run.
And Nevada's defense coming into this game has been very, very stingy. Especially in the last 3 games, they've only given up 11 points on average. And very stingy against the run. So a much different team that they're used to playing, this run and shoot offense from Hawaii. Poses a lot of problems and has a lot of threats.
You know, it didn't work. It worked for a while in the NFL, but this offense seems like it's really unstoppable. If you have the right keys, the right people in the right places, there's so many options for a quarterback, and there's Brennan's going to be sacked for the 2nd time. So Nevada putting some pressure on him, and Justin Amaya, who is a backup safety, will come across and get him. That's a safety blitz. And Hawaii will be forced to punt.
You'll see J.J. Milan just missing him there, but just Jonathan Amaya just finishing him off. And
Wolfpack is taking a timeout to try to preserve as much clock, so we will pause. We'll be back with more here on the Wolfpack Sports Network. And Nevada was still a chance with 5:41 to go. They're down by 13.
you see Jeff Rowe there on the sidelines in his sweat clothes. And
yeah, this night is finished, unfortunately for him, by way of some kind of injury. Now he's got a week to heal before the homecoming game against San Jose State. And for the first time tonight, Hawaii will punt. D'Angelo Wilson, who was a little uncertain down at UNLV about fielding the punt. Let's see how he does here. Milne hangs it high. Time for a fair catch, and he calls it. And will take it backing up at around the 13-yard line. Now, the Port of Subs sub of the game is the new guy, the quarterback, Travis Moore. Port of Subs sliced fresh sandwiches.
And Travis Moore coming in just off the bench. First drive, 3 of 3, 56 yards, and a 13-yard touchdown pass to Anthony Pudewell.
And the way he threw it looked like he'd been playing all night. So he comes off the bench to give him a lift, and Nevada will start. They officially mark it at the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. 86 yards away from getting this thing a little closer within a touchdown. Moore looking upfield. There's Spencer coming back, and again it goes through his hands. He didn't really look it in. He was trying to get away from the defense, come back to his quarterback to help out, and he can't hang on long enough.
And that's 2 drops by Caleb Spencer, which is very uncharacteristic for him, and especially one on a crucial first down there. You know, only down 13 points, 2 scores puts you ahead. So 13 points isn't is very reachable.
Yeah, you give credit to Moore. He put the ball in the money after throwing it on the run. 2nd and 10. Here comes the pressure. Moore trying to find his way free. He'll be sacked for a couple-yard loss. Flag is down. May have gotten him by the face
Personal
mask.
foul, face mask, number 67. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So that will bail the Wolfpack out. Lafaele will get the penalty, big number 67, that 300-pound nose guard.
Jerry Glanfield just shaking his head there, not believing that these refs are calling it the right way for him, but he definitely got a little mask.
Yeah, he's still going on the sideline talking to anybody that'll listen. Moore looking to throw again. Nice fingertip grab at the 40, breaking loose is Darlington. They're going to run him down, but Jack Darlington with another big long gainer.
And that's just one-on-one coverage with Jack Darlington on the outside, and this is when Chris Ault says, you've just got to win. And Jack Darlington does a great job there. Big play. Taking a big blow at the end.
Yeah, Leonard Peters, who has been known to lay some blows on people, had a great angle and chased him down.
And Peters is really the only starting defensive back in the Hawaii secondary.
So Moore now throwing for more than 100 yards off the bench in 2 possessions. He wants to run, and he will dive inside the 20.
And Travis Moore coming in, doing a very nice job. And Travis has been around this offense for a while too, so he just hasn't had a lot of actual game time. And Coach Ault and Chris Ault believes in this guy.
Yeah, he just, with Jeff Rowe in front of him, been limited. There's an out, and Marco Mitchell makes his first grab of the night. I think Marco had been a little wiser to go out of bounds, but he tried to get more.
And we haven't called Marco Mitchell's name really at all tonight. Nice little out route, nice timing route. Like you said, Dan, he needs to get out of bounds and understand that time is very valuable at this point of the game.
Yeah, save him a few seconds. Those extra yards won't mean anything. It is 1st and goal from the 5. See if Moore can lead him to another touch and make this very interesting. Moore looking to throw back to his tight end, and he does. That Anthony Pudewell on that delay off the line of scrimmage, coming across and going in the end zone, and Anthony has caught the last 2 touchdown throws from Travis Moore. And with the extra point, this will be a 6-point game.
And this is a design throwback to Pudewell, going against the grain, rolling everybody out to the right. And Pudewell sneaking out, hiding himself, and Travis delivering the ball for a touchdown.
You know, I think that's been the playbook since Chris Ault took over in 1976. It's been that long that they've gone to that play. The extra point by Jekyll is no good. Wow. Brett Jekyll can't believe it as he shakes his head. Andy McIntosh comes up. Don't worry about it. It's still a 7-point game. Now, tonight's player of the game is presented by Hometown Health. It's your hometown, and there, as you said, a lot of them, but there he is on the screen, Nate Aloha. 11 rushes for 134 yards, 9 catches for 68, and I didn't see him selling tickets out front, but he's done everything.
Oh, he's done it all tonight, and he's had a fantastic, real career night for Nate Aloha.
You know, let's talk about highlights in tonight's ball game. The sack attack tonight is brought to you by Mortgage America. Fast, easy loans. And here it comes in the first half. Well, we'll get rid of that Aloha. But you'll see this came early in the game.
And this is something that we thought that Nevada would do a little bit more, is put a little bit more pressure on Brennan, bring a little bit of the safety blitzes around. And you see Brennan here looking downfield and get some pressure. And you'll see Scott Garrison come in here and lay the final blow for the sack attack.
It was actually Jonathan Amaya who helped out and forced it. You know, that happens all the time, and Garrison gets credit for the attack because he makes a solidifying hit. But Amaya, who flushed him from the backside, and that's your sack attack in tonight's ball game. So Hawaii, who is seemingly the start of the fourth quarter, might have thought they had this thing wrapped up. It's a 7-point game. It's one touch and a conversion away.
And if you've been watching this game all night, you really feel like Hawaii's dominated the game all night, but yet they're only up by 7 points.
What's interesting, we had a great shot of a full moon earlier, and I think the clouds have covered it, but I said some eerie things could happen. And Hawaii might be thinking right now that full moon is out, brother, and that could be some problems.
Well, and Chris Alt and June Jones have been around long enough that, you know, you fight to the very end, and Chris Alt's no stranger to comebacks and, you know, firing his guys up, keeping them fired up, and you know, believing that, you know what, there's still time on the clock, we can still win this game.
Yep, if there's time on the clock, you can win it. That's exactly right. Who knows? Do you think after this offensive explosion we've had tonight, is there any possibility that we could have overtime?
You know what, I wouldn't put that out of the question.
Alert our crew that that could happen. It's the bewitching hour, past the bewitching hour, back on the mainland as Nevada with that high sky kick. Flag is down, and look out, the ball's loose. White shirts are diving everywhere. Who's going to have it? But I think the kicking team was offside. We will find out. Man, oh man. The onside kick creates mayhem. The sky kick tonight, and Nevada's recovered, but I don't think they see the penalty downfield. Who came away with it? Whoever got it won't give it up.
The kicking team was offside.
Oh.
5-yard penalty, re-kick. Number 11.
Andy McIntosh, and Chris Alt is beside himself.
I'll tell you what, he's filled all night. He's been in those referees' ears, and he's filled that every call's gone against him. And
Travis Branzel, who is a backup tight end and also the snapper for extra points, is the guy who got down the field and uncovered the ball. He got it away, and Andy McIntosh, who has been a hero a couple times this year on special teams, right now has got to feel awful as he's the guy flagged, but the flag went down very early. So Hawaii, again, they're playing guys up. They've got 9 guys within 15 yards of the 30-yard line, which will be where Jacob will kick off. Thinking Nevada's going to try to onside kick it. Are they going to sky kick it again? Try to kick it to open area in the middle of the field? Wouldn't be a bad idea.
And that's a frustrating thing too, but I mean, you almost can call offsides on every kickoff unless it's super blatant there.
Kicking it deep, Jacob's trying to get as much as he can, kicks it over the head of the receivers, but a fortunate bounce. It'll be fielded back at the 5-yard line, and Hawaii will maintain possession as they got a bounce that went their way. Coaching staff for Nevada on the sideline, they're gesturing that they called a fair catch. They're saying that Hawaii called a fair catch, and quite honestly, with the naked eye, I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Because a fair catch with returning the ball would result in a penalty, which would pin them a little deeper. But Ken Wilson and Chris Alt, you can see him signaling right now. He thought it was a fair catch. The signal, anyway, thought went up. And the officials are talking about it.
They're talking it over.
Boy, Hawaii, though, if they do prevail tonight, they go into Fresno next week, and they are red hot, and the Bulldogs are in trouble. I would think, coming off that 13-12 loss on the road this afternoon.
The receiving team gave a fair catch signal. That is a delay penalty. We'll penalize it from the 10-yard line, 5 yards, first down.
Yep, the coaching staff was right. Frank White, our referee tonight. June Jones wants an explanation. So now, I mentioned earlier, Nevada needs a turnover. There couldn't be a more opportune time with the ball deep at the Warriors' end of the field at their 5-yard line.
As much as you know, we talked about this run and shoot offense, that they'll run their offense no matter what. You know, quarterbacks do not like to have their backs up against that end zone. It's not a very comfortable feeling.
See what Brennan's going to do. He's passed for 419 yards in this ball game. On the ground, Eloa will get a couple as he will come up the middle. Nevada will stop him. And now you start to wonder, with 3:25 on the clock, how much of that can Hawaii kill?
And this is where those new rules come in, is taking that time off the clock, and it hurts the team, again, trying to come back and amount a comeback. So, you know, as Nevada's defense is here, this is where they need to step up and make a play and either turn over or at least get a 3 and out and get the ball back to Nevada's offense.
They got 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 from their own 7-yard line. Brennan back to the goal line to throw. Now sprints out. He's going to be hit and dropped. He fumbled the ball. It's picked up by the Wolfpack. They've got it inside the 5-yard line. Where is that full moon now? It's up there somewhere.
It's very, very eerie. Whew. Charles Wilson coming up, making fumble recovery.
Turnover. That's what we were talking about.
And that's what frustrates you as a, you know, Colt Brennan's trying to make something happen. June Jones is killing himself. You know, if it's not there, throw that ball away.
Charles Wilson comes up with a loose ball, and now Travis Moore, who came in this ball game because of an injured Jeff Rowe, has a chance to lead the team to 3 touchdowns. And June Jones is running down the field. He wants to call for a timeout. He had to run all the way down to the line of scrimmage.
Timeout, Hawaii.
And there's Jones, who's got to be huffing and puffing as he makes his way back, but nobody would give him a timeout. So he came out of the coach's box and ran down the length of the field.
And that's a new rule this year as well, is that those head coaches can get that and do whatever they can to get the attention of these referees to call a timeout. And I'm not sure.
It's interesting because the last time Nevada played on this field on December 24th, 2005, it was an extra point that gave them the victory in overtime. They missed an extra point earlier. They need, obviously, to convert this one, because you go in overtime. There's no reason to play for the 2-point conversion here, which might win the game for you with 2:39 if they were to go in and score.
Well, Nevada's definitely captured the momentum here, and that's the frustrating thing about Jaco missing that last kick. It's a 6-point game. Score a touchdown here, you win by 1. And you know, Chris Alt's career has been plagued by, you know, kicking mishaps. A little frustration, but they got some.
Nevada hasn't won here, as I said in the opening, in 48 years. That could be, with a little luck, coming to an end tonight. Travis Moore out of the pistol offense. He'll give it to Lippincott. Lippincott will slide forward, but not much running room inside.
Lippincott getting his helmet ripped off up there. And
so you know Hawaii's grabbing on everything they possibly can.
Well, they got that, and this is definitely 4-down territory here.
And they got to be thinking, where's their 83? Check out where 83 is. Anthony Pudewell's caught a pair of touchdown passes. The last 2 times down. Headed for the south end zone. 2nd and goal. Moore looks, throws, incomplete. Underthrew his receiver just a little bit. So they'll bring up a 3rd and goal. Adam Bishop was the target. He's one of the other tight ends. We mentioned Branzell. Pudewell with the 2 catches. Brings up a 3rd and goal from the 3. Again, head coach Chris Ault talking to his quarterback along with Jack Darlington as they race on the field. They've got 15 seconds on the play clock to get this one off. Moore looking, throwing for a fade in the end zone. Darlington will grab it, but he got a little nudge before the ball came out of bounds, and no flag. But that was a pretty good defensive play by Hawaii, giving Darlington a little bit of nudge so he would go out of bounds.
Yeah, I'm right. You know, I'm really surprised at that call. I mean, he came down with the ball, but it's a very low percentage pass, either to catch it, you know, let alone get your feet in the end zone.
And you're throwing a little lob in the corner, but it's on the short corner because it's on the short side of the field. So now, you said this is 4-down territory. Here it comes. Obviously, the play of the game. The crowd making as much noise as they can. In the back of the end zone, there was contact, but it won't stand as the pass will go incomplete. Nevada will run one and throw 3 times, and they can't get it done.
Travis Moore getting some pressure right in his face, throwing off his back foot, not being able to get it out there in front of him. His receiver, you see the pressure coming off the right side of your screen, thrown off the back of his foot, not being able to step into the ball.
I thought maybe they'd throw a jump pass for Marco Mitchell. Let's let him go up above the defense, but he wasn't in there. So Nevada will have to try to take it away again with 1:41, and now the clock is moving.
Now, what a big defensive stand there by the Hawaii defense.
Colt Brennan just races into the huddle. He's still putting his hat on as they've got 5 seconds to get a play off. The inside handoff will get him to the 5-yard line. That'll be about it. Nevada will start using their timeouts.
Timeout. Nevada, their second charge team.
Well, we go way back to the beginning of the ball game as today's play of the game is brought to you by Greater Nevada Credit Union. Be part of something greater.
And this is just a play action pass. Rolling out, Jeff Rowe to his right, looking for Darlington down in the corner of the end zone, throws a strike. And that's your play of the game.
Yeah, way back when Jeff Rowe was the quarterback, Travis Moore has taken over for him. I think it's pretty obvious that this has been the most competitive game in the recent series between these two schools. They've only played 10 times. Started the renewal of the rivalry when both were teams in the WAC conference. Started playing one another, but it had been some time since they had played in the past.
And I think this is this is easily the best team that Nevada's brought to Hawaii in the past few years. It's not an easy place to play.
No, it isn't. When you consider the 5-hour plane ride and you're here and the 3-hour time difference. And Brennan with a second down. Again, wide open. Eloa just running through Nevada's defense, and I think you can see why we selected him as the player of the game. Because he has just been unstoppable tonight.
Yeah, he's just really coming out and everything that June Jones thought he would be.
You know, just a squatty body guy who has good feet, good peripheral vision.
Yeah, and he moves well for a big guy like that. And it's something where, you know, you've got those smaller receivers that you got out there, and it's a nice little mix up with having some beef in the background or backfield.
Interesting, though, they haven't stayed true to their offense. Now, Brennan will be up under center. He will kneel down as they will just try to wind this thing down. We've got a flag down first. I thought that they would stay true to their offense and throw the football, but when they needed to kill the clock, Eloa was the guy they called on. Not Brennan to try to get something over the top and make the spectacular play.
Illegal motion on the offense, number 34. Not set at the time of snap. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And you know the reason they did that? Because the last time Brennan tried to do that, he fumbled.
Yeah,
he got hit and fumbled.
And it's something that they're not, that, you know, when you don't take the snap from under center a whole lot.
Nevada, their last timeout.
Penalty was against Reagan Maiwa. Talked about him tonight. Number 34, the kid that we talked about, Aloha being a wide body. Iliwa is 296 pounds in the backfield. That's just unheard of. Years and years ago when the AFL started, the Denver Broncos had a guy by the name of Billy Joe, I believe his name was, a running back. He was 250 and everybody thought he was enormous.
He was huge. A little frustration on Caleb Spencer there coming back home. And
there's a young man who walked on in this Hawaii program, and June Jones said, if you want me to believe in you, come here and prove that you're worthy, and if you can, you won't be sorry. I'll take care of you. And he has. He's installed him as a starting quarterback, and he had a great year last year. He's picked as the preseason most valuable player in the conference, and he hasn't done anything so far to tarnish that.
No, solid numbers, and you know, he was a JC All-American and All-California JC coming out of Saddleback College.
Yeah, for Hawaii, they'll end up with 582 yards tonight. They've been averaging 501 yards per ball game, and because of the running game, which nobody really expected they would have tonight, their offense proved that at times they were virtually unstoppable. So now the rest of the teams in the league have to really worry. Not only do they have the run and shoot passing game, but now they've got a running game which has proven itself to be pretty darn good. And the clock will wind down. That'll be it. Hawaii will come out on top. They win this one by 7, 41-34 here at Aloha Stadium. June Jones and Chris Ault will shake hands, once competitors on the football field. We'll pause and be back on the Wolfpack Sports Network.